Series E.
Series E.
Series E, Apex Legends.
Apex Legends.
Series E. Series E, Apex Legends.
Series E Apex Legends starts right now. Welcome everybody to Season 2 of Series E, where we're exploring all terms of new things now. Of course, we got a new start time here for Pro Night. It's 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we've also got the latest split along with the newest patch, Tom, and we saw a lot of things changing up in terms of compositions and how teams play things out. Let's go ahead and talk about the action that we saw last night, Tom.
Yeah, last night was a doozy, honestly. We had 4 teams, I think, all within like 4 points of one another. And all in all, I think it was Team Cheez-It getting their first win ever in Series E. I don't think we've ever seen Team Cheez-It come out swinging like that. Obviously, it's a new roster. The Season 1 team got relegated. New Season 2 roster comes through and is playing extremely well. And we'll see how they do on the actual Pro Day today, because we know the lobby is going to be much slower paced and much more stacked.
Yeah, and in terms of just how everyone played, it was actually kind of fun to see. But we did notice, again, of course, the returning trend for Apex Legends. A lot of times, of course, it's going to be when you play Edge versus Center Zone. But we got to see how consistency matters, and Center Zone helps in that regard. And Team Cheez-It was the most consistent team of the evening.
Yeah, they really were, and I think you had the stats in terms of what they were placing over and over again, but it looks like we are in the game, and it is Razor Week, and South 69, if you saw, playing on the Switch, actually, so we'll see if that's going to work out. Third Impact, we know, is a team that goes over towards the epicenter area. Looks like Muffins is hunting the last player down, and
here, Razor.
Yes,
looks like they might have a film. I don't know, actually. But Stealth Lord 69 coming on in. A lot of early fighting here, which is what typically happens when we have our EU representatives coming in for our Pro Night as well. And, you know, I hear there it is, TSM versus Cooler taking place now over in Frag East as Imperial Hal gets the first knock onto Nask. Hakulo gets that thirst. We'll take out Balon G of Third Impact. All right, here we go. As Reps was knocked throughout all of that, but TSM should have the numbers advantage. The scan does come out as Snipe Down pushes in the lower with Imperial Hal, and they will be able to finish off Cooler.
all right, hopefully you can hear me now, and looks like they are going to be contested. See if my audio is going through. Back-to-back nights with audio issues, always really fun. So yeah, it looks like Hal's busting out a little bit of the horizon, and we were talking about how Third Impact goes on over. Well, I was talking about, not sure if you guys actually heard, but we do have another 50-50 happening over towards the Geyser side.
There it is, 303 making their push through Geyser now as they've already got the first knock. That's going to be Farmer Lucas going down. Another push out. ASCII gets stomps, and 303 pick up 2 off the rip there. And now, with 16 squads, 48 players remaining, the focus is going to start to be on the rotations here. We do have the ring pulling away, looks like, to the west side. A lot of fighting taking place here as Pringles find themselves in a fight down here by Tree, trying to rotate up. But oh boy, Fury has to be careful. Drop down low. All of Pringles are low, in fact, as Fury is playing around this bubble, trying to buy time, but he does go down. Not enough time for Presley to get healed up, but Sentinels will clean this fight up, but it was a close one. It was all down to Retzi to clutch this one up. Now we're down to 15 squads as it looks like Applejacks were trying to come in for the third party here, but the Tree team is slowing them down.
So much for it being slow paced. Looks like these players don't really care. Maybe there's some beef going on in the chat before this game starts, because this is just absolutely insane with the amount of fighting that's happening. But keep in mind, with the first day of the Pro Night, everybody's kind of just jockeying for their positions in their landing spots. So if you go and you end up getting contested, you're not going to have a spot. So you're going to have to figure it out going into the next game, as We do have a rotation going on over towards Thermal, and when you see this balloon rotation, this is a really, really smart play. This early into the game, I really love this play. They could push all the way to the very backhand side, take one of these buildings, and there's about 3 or 4 buildings to lock down, so they should be free.
Yeah, and 2 of them actually just cross the lava river while 1 takes the balloon, gets the good scouting information here. Sentinels, though, they do have that thermal tree connector to try and play off of. Applejacks gave that one up, but we have to remember that there was a team that was playing inside this house back here, as we do have the rest of Sentinels moving forward. They're going to be able to pick up this beacon and have a better idea of where this ring is going to go, but it looks like it will, of course, be at Thermal proper, and so that's why you're seeing a lot of renewed focus now on where the ring could go. It looks like they will back off for this world drop, so let's see what they actually pick up.
Surprised that they're picking up the beacon so late. Sentinels really doesn't care about getting in the middle of the circle, nor have they ever. They're more interested in fighting teams to get to where they have to go. And we take a look at the map. I love this little rotation view that we get to see. And if we could even keep that up longer, honestly, so we could talk about that, because it has all the players' names on that. We can see exactly where they landed, where they're going, where they're prioritizing. But Team Rockstar looks like they're rotating over towards the top of the train area. I think we've seen all of the rotations that Rockstar does through train. Almost every single time, this is the route that they like to take. They don't land too far from it, so it's completely understandable. 2 drops, 1 on each side, 1 for Sentinels. Gold bag going on over to Team Rockstar. We'll see who ends up taking that one.
Yeah, it's CLG, though, now that have decided to play on the train tracks on maybe hoping that the ring pulls over this way or just continue to play the choke just to their south for the time being. Don't know if there's a team that's taking positioning over on that western choke, but yeah, it looks like there is, with the team playing over a car. Vax hitting some decent shots with the scout, hitting for the purple, though. And so that does give him a moment of pause right now. CLG currently sitting on 2 blue armors along with the purple for Rocker. So they want to tap away for a little bit longer here. Unfortunately for Vaxlon, of course, he doesn't have that mag on the scout. And so it becomes difficult to try and confirm a kill there. But hey, he's getting closer and closer to that purple Evo.
Yeah, CLG playing pretty unorthodox right now, just locking down certain choke areas, looking for kills. They're basically trying to do big gatekeeping, which is what CLG does. If they can't get into the middle of the zone, if they can't go into a super priority spot, then they're going to go and try to get kills, try to gatekeep teams, and that's kind of what Sentinels does. But Sentinels refuses to really ever push past Sorting Factory. They land over there and they just continue to fight teams, and that's why it's one of those spots that you just kind of want to avoid Prodigy Aces going down basically immediately. Team Cheese It looks like they're going to have to get out of here. Looks like some shots being taken down onto Retzi, but that's a 2-on-1 situation there for Murdog, and that's not something that you want to see. They should be able to get this res here for Retzi for free. That's exactly what they do. Nice, another team fight there. Great burst. Sentinel's tracking has always been top notch.
Yeah, the gold bag res for Trust as well. So Retzi is right back into things, and Sentinels now are proving why they are such a terror in these lobbies. Their team fighting is absolutely top notches. Really gonna do it to him. Really gonna do it to him here. Oh my goodness. All right. This is actually great. I don't really get to see that often, Tom.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. The whole defensive environment there going through. Sentinel saying, hey, you cannot rotate over here. Looks like Na'Vi with Max Strafe over here with the triple take, locking down another popular spot. We see this rock held very often. We even saw it yesterday, where the team rotated over towards the choke. I can't remember exactly what the team was. I think that was Razor, actually, that won that game when they made their way over from that high ground all the way over towards the choke and then gate capped other teams through there. So we're very familiar with how that works. And when you see all those teams that are over here, these are the teams that end up getting gate capped. CLG is over towards the side over there. We saw where Na'Vi is. So there's a lot of action over here. There's a lot of really good teams. And there's going to be a lot of third parties that are happening once this actually goes down.
Yeah, we have Liquid over here by staging, and I believe CLG were playing the train tracks right above, and like you said, Na'Vi was playing the position we saw NPL playing last night during a very similar ring. But Liquid deciding to back away off of this one, and we saw why. Right, it was just fight after fight after fight on the train tracks, and you can try to avoid that pileup, and I like what Liquid's doing here. Flanker on the Bangler, we didn't actually get to talk about that. Don't know if that's a true pick or if he's actually going to stick with it for now. Let's see, whose cam is it? It is going to be Tech now on the crypto. We did see them make the swap offs yesterday. A lot of compositional changes throughout the nights for Team Rockstar. They did start picking up the pace, but right now they're going to test out the crypto once again, but it's Sentinels. And are looking to get aggressive right on top of them here. They've already popped that beast of the hunt. The scan should be going down. Retzi is looking for the opening damage. He's got the R99 out, and they have done a lot to Tech. Oh boy, the arcs are coming in. Crummy forced the Q already, and Sentinels have taken almost no damage here as they continue to pursue up against them. Nox gas grenade. We'll give a moment of pause for Sentinels, but they've already gotten the knock onto Matt Pickett here, and Tech has only been able to get a bat off. Crummy will go down next. And just like that, Sentinels once again winning another team fight, Tom.
Sentinels is literally coming in here today just to practice on their team fighting. I've seen teams do this before where they're not even interested in going in the zone at all. They want to just sit there and practice this over and over again, and that's the best thing to go and do. And Sentinels is one of the best team fighting teams that we have. So this is, in my opinion, extremely smart and basically huge for their confidence. You can see they're just bullying, BMing every single team right now. Anybody that wants to come through Sorting Factory is going to have to meet Sentinels.
Yeah, that's the worrying thing about it all, right? You said anyone coming through Sorting Factory, that is center map. So that's basically, you don't have to be everyone here. Na'Vi still holding this position on the rocks for the time being, as this is only the second zone. We're down to 15 squads, 41 players remaining, as they can continue to play this choke for some time now. Don't know if anyone's been able to pick up a beacon for us quite yet to have a better idea, but if it doesn't pull over to this choke, I would be surprised. And Na'Vi has another team on the low ground, and as you can see, Nesh is doing a good job of just not overexposing himself to the other choke. Oh boy, is there a Horizon on the other side. There's still a lot of fighting taking place here, and it's so early on in this game.
Yeah, it looks like he's not interested in pulling the trigger on these shots, which is really interesting to me. I'm not sure if he's conserving ammo or not, but he was lighting that up for quite some time with the 6x. It should be a fairly easy shot, but Sentinel's back at it again. Now we talked about this. When it comes time to rotate, they're going to fight for the rotation. The problem is, this is a very, very popular spot, and there's other teams that are waiting to collapse on this. It looks like it's Team Intel that's been locking this down. Typically, you are going to see a Watson in these type of situations or a Caustic, but they're just doing it with the typical edge fighting composition. They look like they have a good angle on Sentinels, so they're going to go and take that. Sentinels is not interested in pushing. There's multiple teams in the area, and it looks like they're kind of caught out. Possibly a portal play underneath the train tracks coming in for Retzi.
Yeah, the third party was coming in from that choke, and so that's why they had to get out of there as quickly as possible. Panda's holding the angle for now. The most important part is that they hold it down here. Liquid now in a fight, as it was Sentinels that they were trying to third party, but they are the ones getting punished, and Sentinels have cleaned up the majority of this lobby so far. They've gotten to 3 team fights. This is their 4th one now, as Retzi does queue back. Crust is dropped down low, and oh boy, it's only the Bloodhound left here to be able to fight as Intel get aggressive off of this one, push the train tunnel, and now they make the gods bleed. Crust has gone down here, and it looks like Sentinels might have bitten off more than they can chew, as Razor are trying to get involved in this as well, but they back away all the way to this building. Oh, they've got someone actually stuck inside. This might be the rest of Sentinels here, as they do actually get Nocturnal. And so a lot of third and fourth parties coming in. Intel want to clean this one up, but they are gonna have to try and push a team that's inside a building right now. We'll see how well they can infiltrate. The doors are already gone. Here comes the first thermites. Does it get any connects as the scan comes out from the other side here? As it looks like CLG will be able to finish off the Sentinels here. And there we go, taking to the roof. 6 has gone down, but a big shot coming out from Panders. He gets the knock on the Haculo. It's a back and forth affair, but it's all down to a 1v1 now. The HP advantage going on over towards Team Intel. Haculo, he's got that 100 HP against, well, basically nothing over here, but it looks like another third party getting involved at this point. Does he have an armor swap? CLG are coming in to be the ultimate victors of this fight, Tom.
It's exactly what we talked about. There were so many teams postured in this area. It started with a rotation on the opposite side of the train tracks. Intel wanted to go and chase that. Liquid's trying to rotate into the train tracks as well. CLG was in the vicinity. TSM goes and takes out Navi over towards the side. And we just had about 6 to 7 teams go and get eliminated. Yeah, Sentinels wiping up the entire lobby, but they created so much ruckus right there by their aggressive play, and all of these teams basically get cleared out, and TSM goes and takes this high ground over here. Going to be pretty easy with that zip line. You also have the Q from Hal if he wants to go and use that gravity lift, but here's a tough rotation without a portal that they're going to have to go and face.
Yeah, so TSM did wipe out Na'Vi, who was holding on this rock, and we get, of course, a better idea of the ring now. If someone's already playing that choke, as you can see that Bloodhound scan coming across. 2 of them have been hit. It's going to be Solofide that are holding this here, but now with the Arcshards coming in, Designful will be able to just dodge that for the time being, popping some ultimate excels. And now we do have the crossfire being set up by TSM as they're trying to make their way on in. Defensive bombardment has already gone down. The scan comes out for Designful. They're going to back up off of this one, create a little bit more space for themselves as TSM continue to push up. They've taken the port on over, and they need to be able to focus fire them down. The first one to go down is going to be Reps now. Solofide playing into the 3v2, make that a 2v2 as Imperial Hal gets a knock onto Designful, but it's the HP advantage for TSM here. They're going to be able to take out Resulta next, and just like that, TSM, they bring this one back from the 2v3. A lot of damage was done, and they'll be able to get the res onto Rep.
It's extremely tough fight for TSM to go and take, and they win that one. Solofide, not typical of them to be running out of thermal station with alternators, without completely stacked scouts. It looks like they played a very unorthodox style to go for a very fast rotate, and it just didn't work out for them. Instead, TSM going to take advantage of that and be the team that comes over from that back end side. CLG does a very smart play, goes and splits the donut inside the next zone. This is huge. SCN over towards one of these side buildings. They're going to have to make a big rotation. It comes down to claiming this portal. They have a minute to go, but they can't push up too far because TSM is late on the rotation from the edge, and they're going to keep all the action in front of them and try to force these guys to fight.
Yeah, this was pretty much the exact circle that we ended when we had the thermal station ending just yesterday, where it ended up at the houses there. Razor ultimately ended up winning that one, I believe. But this time around, Razor already out. 8 squads remaining, 23 players left, so 1 squad running out as a duo, as it looks like there's a small engagement taking place over at the Circle building right now, which Klein is eyeing. It's going to be Team Rice Krispie Treats with another squad just outside as Casper goes for the peek. And they do back away off of this one. Oh, Rockstar were able to recover. They got Matt pick it up. Don't know if it was the full squad, and it actually is. And so, who was it that survived? Was it Tech that survived, or was it Matt Pickett?
Had to be Tech. It had to be some really nice drone play coming in from Tech. And he probably got the banners, then hit an unorthodox respawn. But what a job. Sentinels hunted him down over towards the side, disrespects the bodies. And yet Tech goes through and gets them past the end game here with 7 squads remaining. Sentinels definitely had a lot of kill points, and it's going to be tough to, again, rotate through sorting factory. But this is over towards thermal now, and like you said, it's a very similar zone that we had before. They could end up continuing to pull directly towards where this area is now, where Rice Krispie's been locking in for quite some time. But they had, again, CLG below them. CLG rotate over towards the side. Now they're getting into it with 303. This is a good rock to hold, but Madness is going to need a little bit of help. They need to kill that drone, not able to do so, taking some serious damage over towards the side. Crummy and Rockstar Tech collapsing immediately.
And we do have the scramble now as the ring is closing. 9 more seconds here, and that is applying a lot of pressure, but Rockstar do have a rock to work off of right now as TSM are able to just get into the power position here. Locking this one down. There's a team inside the building proper, and this one pulls even further south, actually, so away from the buildings as CLG with Rocker the only one up. Team Rockstar might get wiped out very shortly. CLG will be able to pick that one up, and Madness goes down throughout that entire affair. Rocker doing some great damage with that Mastiff, but isn't able to finish it off quite yet. TSM pushed the building, and now they have full control over this platform now as they get reps back on up. We're down to 4 squads. It's all full squads remaining as well. They continue to poke away. Great posturing coming out from Imperial Hal now, and we've got about 50 seconds before this ring starts closing. And this one is a different ring. Like I said, pulling away from the platform, going down to the south. There's going to be a lot of open areas there, Tom.
TSM looks like the communication is on point right now. Hal picking all the boxes, getting the alt excels there for reps so he can make sure that he has that Nox gas grenade going into this last fight here. So many teams kind of layering over towards this donut building. It's going to be interesting to see. I love the pressure that Hal was adding with that flat line, electing with no Mastiff right there. He's going to go flatline R9, double automatic weapons. Also has the anvil if he wants to go and use that. Now it's not surprising to see Casper and Rice Krispies go and try to take the high ground here. They may try to do some sort of zip line play. 303 is playing this rock in the backhand side, which again, they have the entire zone towards their back and all these loot boxes and armor swaps. Tons of ammo over here. It's similar to what TSM has over towards the side. So right now, SCN and Rice Krispie Treats, since they decided to kind of share this building, are in the most tough situation. You can see they're trying to figure out how to approach this.
Yeah, Clean tries to go for the airburst and actually connects off of that one. Just a little bit, finds a nice flank from the left, only hits for the 50 though, and now he has to pull back. Oh boy, the ring's closing in. Do they have this pocket to work with? Is it in? It is.
Oh my.
And so they are going to be safe there for now and allow the other teams to fight this one out. As you can see, Rice Krispie Treat taking a lot of damage here. This is important. If surviving from 4th to 3rd, that's going to be 2 additional placement points. The defensive bombardment goes down. Imperial Hal will be in the skies with that gravity lift, throws in that thermite. We got the knockdown, all of that onto Casper as well. Kind of misses there with the thermite though. Unfortunately, they might be able to get Casper back up. We'll see how much pressure TSM and 303 apply. We got a minute left before the slow ring starts closing in. Beast the Hunt popped early on by Bambino. That's a bit surprising here, and he's going to continue to focus with those knock shields. There's a purple and a blue one as TSM now trying to push in from the flanks here on the left. Again, Beast the Hunt popping for another 15 seconds as the bat does finish for Bambino. He'll have another scan. Well, he does have another scan, isn't electing to use it quite yet, surprisingly enough, as Season have made their port play. Klein can back off again. They do have that corner to work with. They could try and bide a little bit more time, as somehow Team Rice Krispie Treats are still alive and no one has gone thirsted yet because of the pressure being applied by TSM onto 303.
Oh, great burst there from Hal. Hal's playing absolutely out of his mind right now on this horizon. They're going to be able to get ASCII down and possibly take over this rock. There goes the ultimate coming in from both sides. Hal's still playing this little balloon area, which isn't much cover, but it's connecting. Speaking of connecting, Klein with some nasty R301 hipfire shots right there. Sunny going to go and make his portal play. They were able to get Casper up just like you were talking about, and they're coming in fairly late to this one. So we'll see what Sunny's going to be able to do. He's fully healthy, has the Prowler in hand, doesn't connect with the shots as he was hoping for. This bubble should be going away fairly soon, and they realize that, so they're going to go and back off. Tons of armor swaps there. Looks like reps went out. Rambo's going to go down as well. Great flank here coming in from Rice Krispie Treats and Stunny. Looks like they were dead over towards the side, and they are cleaning these fights up left and right. Snipe down goes down. The Prowler doing absolute work right here. Hal in the air. There's still 3 squads alive, though, so it's definitely Hal. Who's the last player alive? It is Hal. He hits the armor swap. The 3 versus 1, not going to happen. What a job from Rice Krispie Treats staying alive.
That's why patience can be so important in these games. Rice Krispie Treats just weather the storm. Double knocks on their side, but they're able to recover after TSM push 303. You see the trades coming out as Season got involved as well, and you know, it didn't look like it, but Rice Krispie Treats, they were able to come back, get the reses, heal up to full, and take the team fight win. So congratulations, they take the first win of the night, but we still have 5 games ahead of us. We're going to take a short break, and when we get back, Season 2, Series E, the first pro night of the season, will continue right after this break.
Verses coming daily under pressure. Working on the plot and the scheme. The true side trademark is at the edge of your dreams. Yeah. One shot, now the future is yours. I'm turning dreams into reality. In the lab with the formula and chemistry. Your memories spark and motivate and make the industry shake. With the bars and the breaks, I'm talking one chance, now it's so close. Where to go? It's one shot, now the future is yours. Let's go.
I wasn't born in the spotlight. Nah. Had to grind and shine like a star on a hot night. And something about the struggle now resides in my muscles. And every trial and trouble helped to hang my hustle. Real rock stars don't chase the spotlight. It chases them.
Hey, shake it, kiddo. Love Dad. Oh.
I've got this. Kellogg's Rice Krispies Treats. A little love when it's needed.
All right, welcome back, guys, to Series E as game number 1 started off fast and heavy. Sentinels took a lot of early engagements, and ultimately it did end up punishing them, but let's see how many points they ended up with after game number 1. Taking a look at the Mobile 1 leaderboard here, as it looks like Sentinels got a lot of kill points there, so they're still... even though they went down like around 10th or 11th, they're in 5th place right now with 9 points. It's TSM, surprisingly enough, despite going down there in 2nd or 3rd place. It was kind of hard to tell. They had 24 points overall, and Team Rice Krispie Treats, who did take the W in game number 1, got 18 points, and so they'll be in the 2nd place spot right now, Tom.
Yeah, TSM took 2nd place, so that means that they took 15 kills overall because they got 9 placement points, and that means Rice Krispie Treats only was able to accumulate 6 kill points. So that just goes to show kind of the tale of two different teams there, as TSM had to fight through the rotations, and most notably took out Team Solafide along the way, who is a thermal station team. So to go over there and pick the choke and then end up losing that fight to TSM is going to be tough to swallow. They're going to have to bounce back here. And take a look at our Mobile 1 moment, high-powered moment of the previous match in game number 1. Not surprising that it is the end of the game here. And again, TSM was not interested in going down easily. Hal put up a really great fight all the way to the end.
And you can see it right there. Just as Clean was turning around, that was Team Rockstar finally getting involved and poured out from Stunny to get right on top of them as well. And, you know, he, even though Rice Krispies need to heal up, Stunny is still on the front lines. He's got that Prowler trying to get damage off. Bird even not this, electing not to heal up. And Casper is there as well. As you can see, all the trades going down on the kill feed as well. So it looked like every team suffered a casualty. Rice Krispie Treats were the only full 3-man up. This entire engagement started off with Imperial Hal getting aggressive on to 303, creating the opening for both season, and then ultimately Rice Krispie Treats to come in to clean this fight up, Tom.
Yeah, it was a great play from Sunny to come in late and then everybody to come in and heal. Mainly getting Casper up is the most important thing. Hal's going to help finish off the last player right here as Kenny's behind that. But what a great job from TSM, again, fighting through to get to this point. And yeah, they didn't win the game overall, but still picking up that many points is great for them, especially with the composition that they're rocking right now. It does seem to be more their play style. They are, again, very similar to Sentinels, where they need to get that confidence going. It's great to see them taking a lot of team fights, because once they are rolling, they're just extremely tough to deal with. Again, there's a lot of different play styles that come into play here. TSM's able to take a lot of different play styles into play, but when they're actually thumbing, when they're playing their best, they're going through and actually getting into a lot of skirmishes and making it to the end zone through that.
Yeah, it's surprisingly enough, especially coming out from both of our center teams, right? We have the Sorting Factory team, that's Sentinels. We know they like to fight early on. TSM, which in the past were historically, categorized as a very early rotate team, having to fight off the rip up against Cooler there over at Fragment East. And so now they're making those adjustments, and I think, really have learned to live on the edge, play the edge fighting composition as well. And they're also another team that are an absolute terror when it comes to team fights.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt if after that fight, TSM got pumped up after Cooler was watching them in their death cam and saying, hey guys, this is what you're gonna have to deal with. Are you sure you really want to go and contest us? And we'll see if Cooler ends up going back for that. There was a lot of different fights that started right off the get-go. I think we were down to 15, 14 teams within the first couple of minutes as we take a look at the Mobile One leaderboard. Cooler obviously got eliminated early. We'll see if they're gonna bounce back. We were just talking about that. Team Liquid is another team that I'm looking forward to and seeing how they're gonna be able to do. Team Cheez-It went out fairly early as we were seeing the fights that were taking place. Again, there's a lot of action that's taking place in the back of Epicenter Refinery Overlook. That's probably going to continue to be a theme, but we saw fights all over the place that game. We saw fights going on at Geyser, fights over at Tree. It was nonstop.
Yeah, I believe we were down to 16 squads already by the time the first ring closed, and so yeah, a lot of fighting early on, and I think a lot of these teams understand that this is one of the few arenas where NA and EU will be matching off, and before we get to LAN, this is how you kind of settle those disputes right here in Series E. You got, of course, the Tree fights going on, you got the Geyser fights going on, along with the Frag East fights for Cooler. Do want to gain this position now. Rice Krispie Treats, though, making their drop over at Frag West. They're in position. Maybe they try to make a play for the third party if Cooler continue their fight. But no, this is just a train split, actually, coming out from Rice Krispie Treats. As you can see, Sunny is on the other sides of that connector here, picking up the Eva for himself, as he should be backing off. Yuki starts things off, taking down Imperial Hal. Here comes Reps, though, with the L-Star. We don't get to see it much at all. As I say that, that's 2 L-Star kills, as it looks like Razor taking out third impact. Oh, missing the melee, surprisingly enough, and that's what gets him punished. Snipe down is here, and he's got the Hemlock. We'll see if he can try and take him out. He does get that first burst, the Hemlock connecting, but TSM are out. Cooler went out this one, and this is what I was talking about. Maybe someone tries to get involved in the third party, especially the Frag West team, but that fight, it took place fairly quickly with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to go before the zone starts closing. We join on board with Pop-Tarts, who are fighting 303 once again over here at Geyser. 303 were able to win out that one early on as Impulse tries to hold on to that door, but now as he goes for the repeat, they get pushed. Lucas goes down. 303 will pick that one up, and game number 2, just like game number 1, Tom.
Man, can we talk about how Reps almost dumpstered all of Cooler, though? Those shots with the L-Star were absolutely good. If he would have got the melee off, they would have won that fight, and that would have been absolutely insane, taking someone down with purple armor when we have basically no shields right there. But either way, Cooler getting the second half of that 50-50, and that's why they call it 50-50, is 303 now going to get the rest of this Geyser loot. Geyser is one of those tough situations where you are going to go and get contested. There's not much recovery loot to have. You can see 34 shots in the Spitfire. Nobody's really fully healed yet. They're going to have to scrap up the rest of this loot. The rotation's going to be really late as well. It looks like we have another fight. This looks like another 50-50 happening between Team Pringles over at Sorting Factory. Pringles is psychotic for going over here.
Yeah, this is almost a death wish, but we do have Presley doing some decent damage now as he has that Beast of the Hunt popping, pushing into the shield. Will take out Crust, but he's still left in a 1v2 as he gets hounded down, and oh my goodness, goes for the repeat through the door, goes to the high ground here. It's just Retzi up against him, but he's only got about 10 HP to work with. Third party coming in, and that is why. Oh boy, Season come in for the cleanup here as they pick that one up, and Sentinels getting really caught off guard with this timing push coming out from Season.
That's what Season needs to do, adapt after the game, and look at this is what we talked about. They already have the scan, 15 squads already down to 5 squads getting deleted. So that's absolutely insane. Sentinels, third impacts out. A lot of good teams. Team Pringles, TSM. Season going to be taking all of this loot now, and they're going to have one of their early fast rotations too. So this is a great situation to be in, as Joey Blackout is going to finish off 6. I believe that's another 50-50 that was continuing to happen over towards Lava City that we saw yesterday between Team Cheez-It and Team Intel. So 14 squads going into this zone. Things most likely will slow down now.
Yeah, gold backpack going over to Rambo for this as well as they continue to rotate through. And now NPL playing over here by Staging. As it looks like there's a squad coming in. The lurk, is it working? Oh my goodness, this is terrifying. They're just crafting without even knowing that NPL's there. Never mind, the jig is up as Na'Vi. That was the other squad on the other side of this lurk. And what is going on? NPL, typically we don't see them crumble like this, and now it's gonna be the E-Rat Ronnie show as he has to back away from this one, popping the bat for himself. Na'Vi will be able to recover off the back of this, and oh my goodness, maybe they were a little bit too shy on pulling the trigger there. NPL getting punished now as the swing comes in. Na'Vi clean that one up.
Ronnie's like, what's going on, guys? I just took one down, almost took another player down while I'm fighting a 2 versus 3 versus 1. How'd you guys die so fast? What you have to do in that situation is if you're going to rat, you rat. If you don't, you don't. And it looks like they just weren't on the same page right there, unfortunately, for Nestle Pure Life. SCN now with the big scan and also showing this is going to be a dome zone. So this is going to be really, really interesting to see how all these teams elect to play this one. You're going to have pretty fast rotations coming in from a team like Solafide as well. So they're going to be making their way over towards Thermal Station. But SCN, they can pick whatever they want right now. Let's see what they elect to do. Obviously, you have this beacon that comes into the back. So if you're able to get Kenny in there, you're going to be able to find exactly where this one is. This is a great building to hold. A lot of times it does kind of end right over here in front of them, about north, about 30 meters in front.
Yeah, oddly enough, just because of how aggressive the lobby has been and with all the fighting that's taking place, people are still rotating into the zone for now. I believe they're sharing the majority of Dome proper with one other squad. And so they'll be able to play off the back here and continually hit that beacon, like you said, Tom. They'll have a good idea where this is going to continue to go. And for the simple fact that they already picked up early game kills, they can play this a little bit more passively. Well, they would like to just poke out, get these blues up to purples shortly. We'll see if they get that opportunity for now. Let's flip around some other squads. There shouldn't be too much action taking place here first season.
There's not going to be much action really anywhere, unfortunately, because everybody already fought and duked it out. But it does seem like Applejacks is interested in getting some long range poke, most likely to charge up those horrible shields that they have. 3 grays, and that's how fast you get your armor taken down. Just a couple of bullets right to the chest and head. You're gonna have to back off. Rockstar getting into a duel right now with Team Solafide. Great spray from Gentrifying. That bubble is proving very useful from Resulta. Designful's down 2-on-2 situation.
Oh no, now it's down to the 1v2 as a third party might have got involved as well. Applejacks here was able to get the knock onto Resulta, and there it is. Maybe this is the opportunity for Applejacks to try and get some better loot coming in for the third party, and they are trying to punish them at this point. The nades are coming in as Tech is full HP currently, but it's still the numbers advantage for them at this point. He goes for the repeat, will take the port back as Crummy was able to get out of dodge, but Tech does take some poke damage. Here comes the scan out from Applejacks. Crummy gets cracked once again, and Tech might have to pull Rabbit out of his hat on this one once again if he does go down. Pick up their banners. I mean, they were able to recover. Remember, in game number 1, Sentinels nearly wiped them. They were able to get the reses, get the full 3-man back up as the rest of Solafide now are getting cleaned up here. Oh boy, defensive bombardment right on top, and rollers will go down. CLG coming in for this one, and what is going on in this game, Tom?
Like, wait, that's not our defensive bombardment? No, that's Lou's, and then Lou goes and steals the bubble as well. Extremely aggressive play. Q gonna be popped from Madness. What a third party coming in. Vaxon does take some initial damage over towards the side. Finish is gonna come through. White knockdown shield not gonna last very long against Madness as Na'Vi gets into it with Liquid over towards the side as well. There's the other knock from Lou onto Aves with the Spitfire, and the finish as well with the EVA 8, and looks like he's going to go down to the last player on this team, but Vaxon should be in the vicinity. He is. The finish comes through. The res hits as well. Very clean job from CLG. What a defensive bombardment and bubble play from Lou.
Yeah, a lot of action here. We're already down to 11 squads, and you know, a lot of people might be complaining like, hey, this isn't what proper Apex Legends competitive looks like. But the thing is, this is a very, very strange case. Like we said, a lot of teams now starting to posture for the lands, making sure that they secure their drop spot, right? Because it'll be the first really international competition that we've had in such a long time, since Poland, really. And so you need to be able to secure this spot. Cooler were able to at least win a second 50-50, so give them a little bit more renewed confidence up against taking on TSM. And they're doing it with the lag disadvantage, but oh boy, we do have Yuki backing away. He's got the horizon there. He's able to pop that gravity lift to get out of the AoE as they're making their push onto Dome now. They do have to be careful. The crossfire being set up as Nasky is disconnected from his squad. He doesn't have his shield, but he will be able to slide in to reconnect with them for the time being, and they can play the cards. As you can see now, ping's going on down over here. A lot of fighting taking place inside Dome finally, as we're now down to 10 squads, 29 players remaining. I wonder if Tech was able to recover a banner.
Possibly, but I do like the way that Cooler is setting up over towards the end. We talked about the importance of keeping your zone towards, or your back towards the zone, so all of the action, all of the teams end up fighting, and you can just go and pick these guys apart. Flatline really being used by a lot of these players. You can see Hemlock in the hands right now of some players on Rockstar, but Tech doing a great job with the drone, making sure that everybody's getting back into the game, making sure that they're going and figuring out where they want to go and take these fights to these teams. But here's a very, very late rotation, as expected from Razor, who doesn't even come near towards this landing spot is. It looks like this is pulling, again, over towards Dome. Lava City is going to be a fairly good rotation. You have to make your way up this hill, and that's the most difficult spot. So they're going to come up here, take the high ground, and kind of plot how they're going to make their way through. Most likely it could be a portal play from Hackula if there's too many teams.
Yeah, they could try to do this a little bit early on as the ring is closing for the time being, but no, there is some resistance. Another team still here inside Lava City as the defensive environment has gone down. The bubble will be used by Muffins to keep them safe, so that's just really nothing at this point. But it's full roof control now for Team Razor. The scan comes out, and might have this team trapped inside the diner. How aggressive do they get as the pings do go down as well? And so it's just scan for scan, so both teams just waiting this one out and really can't get aggressive until the beasts of the hunts are gone. But oh boy, they have given up some of the roof, and there it is, the push, the challenge coming out now as Muffins took so much damage. 303 are able to focus fire him down, and Mr. Hackula will just go ahead and call it there. Drops to the low along with his Bloodhound as Muffins gets finished off. 303. Find the moment of weakness there and take advantage.
The power of the Beasts of the Hunt and the scans, continuously hit those over and over again every 7-8 seconds. And once you see a team splitting up or out of position, that's when you go and collapse. And every time you get scanned, it makes it so difficult to make a play because the scan lingers for that extra 2 or 3 seconds afterwards. So now you see the high ground importance from 303, and also kind of the thought process of multiple teams thinking that they can go and rotate up through this ramp. This is still, with only 10 squads alive, would be a lot more brutal than typically would be. But here goes Razor trying to finish these guys off in a 2-on-3 situation. 303 going to start to continue to push. Looks like they do get one knock. Stealth Lord is fairly weak. He's putting shots over through the window, but again, in a 2-on-3 situation, just so tough against these pro teams.
Liquid trying to finish off this fight here as they're on top of CLG, who I believe, I don't know if they were third party or who was involved in the fight. Rockstar was in this fight as well, but not really too many of them, as I believe 2 of them got thirsted off, and CLG will go down. Liquid picking this one up. Flanker is still on that Bangalore, by the way, and so it doesn't look like it was much of a troll pick, or maybe he's just committing to it now. We'll see. His Nocturnal will go ahead and heal that one up with the bat. And with a minute left to go, they still have to worry about trying to rotate in. But you have to imagine that a lot of teams right now are still playing inside Dome. So maybe this will be a free rotate for them, Tom.
The thing about Flanker is the last game in the ALGS that we just saw, that he played on the Bangalore, and that's the game that they won, the only game that they won. So it's not too surprising that if he does play this correctly, it could be the only Bangalore in NA. But I do feel like there are a little bit stronger picks. The only problem that I see with Bangalore is people really don't know how to utilize her smokes that well. Her smokes actually are pretty useful, and if you're able to go and kind of zone people off and help with your rotations, that's going to help. But then you do have Bloodhounds on every single team in NA, so the scans for the smoke are going to show, which makes things a little bit difficult. But Yuki posturing here with the Kraber. Let's see if he can get some shots on these players.
Yeah, he's holding on to it. He's got 12 shots total with that for now, and Honestly, Yuki with that Kraber is an absolute terror. Cooler still holding this position outside the eggshells over at Dome. See Neski doing a great job of checking their flanks as well. All three players of Cooler currently making sure that they're keeping a good awareness of their surroundings at this point. We're down to 7 squads, 21 players remaining. It's the third ring closing now. And again, this is not the typical case for our knights, our pro knights here, but this is also just not the typical setting. You know, a lot of teams just really want to secure their drop spots, and for now it's Cooler again still holding this position. Let's go ahead and swap around to other teams to see exactly, or at least take a look at the map to see where the teams are. 303 make their way on in from the north side of this eggshell here, Tom, and free shots coming down from Paradise onto Cooler.
Yeah, it's about conserving your ammo right now if you're Paradise. That R99, you can have 200 shots and think it's a lot, but the more you continue to rip 30 after 30 after 30, that becomes a problem. And there's the scan, kind of expecting it to continue to pull over here. This is exactly what we were talking about before. The power of Kenny on that drone, and now you made it this far. You can't really mess it up if you're SDN.
I'm wondering if the silos are in here in the back. As you can see, like you said, the ring falling far south here. I haven't really seen a ring like this where it follows like almost the original algorithm, where like if the ring pulls into a certain direction, it continues to pull in that direction right now. As you can see, they're keeping track of Cooler, who are trying to swing around to the back side here. As Cooler themselves, they don't have a recon, so they just have to play the best that they can at this point off of their idea of where this ring is going. Nasty faces some resistance there on the south side, but they still have given themselves a lot of time to work with to try and figure this one out, and they will be on the slow side of the ring as well. Yuki watching his back with that Kraber for now, as Dell is still holding on to this port, and so he does have a lot of options for himself.
Gonna have to connect with an opening shot, and there's the Gibraltar peeking. Did that connect the headshot? He did onto Bird, and because that connects, that creates an opportunity to go and push over towards that side because they do need to make a rotation. However, are they going to collapse on that? They have to make some plays over towards the side. They do. They finish off Bird, and now they continue to push over towards that area. Still with 28 seconds, there's not much to go and move, but Yuki doesn't connect on that one, and they are pinched in between two spots. Great job using the grab lift, but I'm thinking that he's going to get shot out throughout all this, and he does. Hits the battery, goes and uses that passive to continue to thum around. Portal is in the air, and the hops are there for Yuki. Do they get into safety? It's just a little bit of safety for now. One team sitting inside the building. Let's see if Cooler elects to push.
Yeah, Gibraltar's forgetting. Well, you know, it was like, what is it? I guess the shadow patch where the bleed damage came in. Surprisingly to a lot of people, and so hitting that headshot onto Gibraltar through the arm shield, absolutely cracking. What a great shot. Or maybe he just got out of ADS for a long time. I'd be surprised if he an ADS there. Team Cheez It's still involved in this for the time being, as they do back away now. It's Murdoch watching from the anchor position as Cooler are getting cleaned up. Casper picking up 2 with the Volt now. And oh boy, things were looking great for them, but here's 303 with the third party. Cooler have gone down in 7th place. Casper gets finished off, and 303 are just in prime position here. As, they do have, looks like a small split going on, but they have control over this building at the very least. Minute and 15 seconds to go before this ring starts closing in. It's Cheez Its now. That have the outside dome to work off of. They're setting up their barrels, but they have a full team ahead of them currently. It looks like it is going to be Team Liquid there trying to make their advances, Tom.
You can see the smokes popping out right here to kind of zone out over towards the side, so you can't scope in on that one. And ammo running low. Only 20 shots left in that scout, so you got to be extremely conservative, as this ring still is taking a little bit to move over here. And you see everybody kind of taking their time, waiting for their fights, waiting for their opportunities. Once that happens, all hell really going to break loose. Ping's going down, 50% to that portal. Paradise is not going to have this in time, so they're going to have to make some sort of bubble play coming in from Askey as they slide outside the door here and make their way either to that opposite side roof or maybe towards the back side of the building. You see, they haven't decided yet. There's 3 teams in the area.
And this is why teams would love to have some sort of mobility to get on top of some of these tankers here. This ring continuing to pull down south. Good damage out from Paradise now, but like you said, needs to conserve the ammo. He only has 4 clips total. Well, 3 clips total now as he turns around, starting to run out. He's almost running on empty with that EVA 8 as well. Haven't been able to recover much of the loot now, as he does at least force back that team, but the ring will start closing in, and this one's a fast one. Even though they're on the slower side of it, they're being pressured now. Paradise riding the edge here, took some ring damage, but he does get the bat off. He was so close to getting the red Evo for himself as well, so he doesn't get full value off of it, but he's still alive, which is the important part here in the late game. They have a small pocket here underneath the building to work with as well, as things come to a standstill. 5 squads remaining, and it is the final ring. It's going to be Cheez-It to start it all off, getting a knock onto 1. And is that going to start, of course, the end here? Who pulls the trigger first is the most important question.
Yeah, and that's how competitive Apex kind of works right there. That was a great angle of how to make the best out of a situation. Pings go down, bubble goes down. They had no idea exactly where they were going to play. Thought it was going to be the boxes, and they realized under the house. But then all of a sudden you turn the corner and you have all this great platform to use as cover. And when you look at the map and you see how small it is, it's crazy how many teams, how many players can really coexist. But what's interesting is we normally have about 8 teams in this situation. So teams fighting and not afraid to go after it right here. And 303 continuing to try to get this team out of the side over here, but it's going to be, I believe, SCN with the knocks, with the finishes as well. That means the third parties are going to come through. Team Liquid around the corner, have the Digi threat as well, so if they need to go and use that, they will. That means that Prodigy Ace is going to go and take the high ground right here. It looks like a Team Liquid versus Cheez-It duel for the final of game number 2. The res coming through. The shots are going to connect. The EVA 8 for Prodigy Aces. Super impressive. 2-on-1. Cheez-It should be able to finish this one.
Yeah, Murdoch almost low, but Flanker tries to survive for now on that Bangalore. He's got the double time speed to back away, but he's in an alley. Cheez-It will finish this one off, taking game number 2 of the evening, and very sordid affair there. I mean, if anything, these games are nothing but entertaining at the very least. But congratulations, Cheez-It, taking game number 2. We're going to go ahead and take a short break, and when we get back, we'll have game number 3 of Series E right after this.
What's up, guys? I'm Zara Tricky, and I use the Viper Mini.
In the open field, and I believe there's probably, oh, there's a kid out of position right there.
The Viper Mini is actually one of the best mice for fingertip grip users and claw grip users, which is actually what I am, a claw gripper.
Storm was hitting him. Every time the door swings open, I'm sure that team inside is...
The Viper Mini comes equipped with side grips on the mouse, and it actually comes with a new and improved cable, which is meant to make it feel wireless. If you want to hit shots like me, then you need to pick up the Razer Viper Mini.
Cheez-It snapped. How's it taste?
It's so thin, crispy, and cheesy. And I just want to keep eating it. And eating it. They love them.
Snapped. So good we may run out of cheese.
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show 'em who's the cheesiest?
I woke up feeling the cheesiest, coach!
Cheez-It, official sponsor of the college football playoff.
Apologies, everyone, but welcome back to Series E as we had some technical difficulties. So here we are. It's game number 3. This one's going to count as we are into basically a third ring closing. 5 squads remaining, 15 players. We have another dome ending here, Tom.
Another dome ending, another absolute bloodbath happening here on World's Edge. Nobody showing any remorse as TSM looks like they have a decent amount of kills. Spitfire in the hands of our boy Snipe down, and he's trying to find some more kills for the rest of these guys as Rups is going to go and hit a battery. You can see in the zone right now, that's what Hal's doing. He's kind of playing this like a Wraith as far up as possible, saying, hey guys, we can play around this rock. That's totally cool. While I'm doing that, we're going to be checking our back the entire time. Look at that great spray control about 75 going up of the grab lift as well. And you can see Snipe Down just locking down the back, Reps locking down the back as well. Really like the way that TSM's playing this one, but they eventually will be pinched, so that's why you can see they're adding so much pressure.
Yeah, they are, like you said, doing a great job of checking every single angle. Snipe Down on top of this rock, making sure the team doesn't push through this tunnel, and they're forcing them through another choke right now. Reps will be able to yeet that barrel in. And it looks like both sides of that cave exit are now covered here, as Reps will back away to play anchor in the back. One of the best anchor players, honestly, in the game, as he does get scanned up. But again, he's not worried about the team coming out from Dome. He's more worried about the back. They'll have the eggshells to work off of, as well as Hal finds another team to the western edge. And he has them pinned down, doing some decent damage with that R301 as Reps gets hit pretty big, is forced to pop that Phoenix kit. But they've got another 30 seconds to continue to apply this pressure. We'll see. Again, like you said, they have a number of kill points, and for the simple fact that they are here, it means they won the 50-50 up against Cooler. But oh no! The 30-30 just connecting. That's gonna be Mac taking out Imperial. Hal and Gentrifying will finish that one off as well.
Was not expecting that kind of damage coming out, and that's why I think the 30-30 is still extremely underrated. I haven't seen people really utilize that much. I would think a player like Snipe Down would rip players apart, but he's going back to his old Season 1, Season 0 meta with the Spitfire 3X. I remember first time playing with Snipe Down, he was using that, and I was like, are you serious? You're using the Spitfire? But rightfully so now, after the buffs that happened to it, still a very strong gun like it used to be. But losing Hal is absolutely huge. He was the player that's going to be giving them a lot of information. Thermite not going to connect. I feel like this is how all my Thermites are, Jameson. They're perfectly placed, but never burning anybody.
You're just ready for the campfire tales and just getting a little toasty there. But oh boy, Reps. He thought he had some cover to work with, but they found the angle. He's able to at least get the Nox Gas grenade out in time, but now it's all up to Snipe Down. He has the Beast of the Hunt popped here. He's getting shot from every which way, and it looks like this is Liquid in front of him. And Flanker will be able to finish him off. Now, Nocturnal did go down, but here comes the res from Albralele, as Flanker still needs to heal up as well. He's just on the syringes. Razor are inside Dome proper, but this is the ring that pulls away to the cart to the eastern side, as they do back away, heal up once again. So this is one of the best finishings so far for Razor. Remember last night, despite being able to win out, 2 games, they were not able to take the dub. And now it was also game number 3 where they were able to take the win. They do get the first kill, and there we go, taking out Designful. And so it should be Razor versus Liquid in the end. We'll see if Gentrifying gets involved now as the solo, how much he can do, or will Liquid be able to clean this one up?
Oh, the Digi threat right here with the Prowler going to be extremely useful, keeping that thing on auto as well as the push coming in for Team Liquid, playing extremely aggressive. Nades coming through. Will those connect? That whole team is in the corner, just a little bit more to the left, and they all would have been lit up. But no, the portal play coming through is Albralele going to put them on the back side. They don't really know exactly where this whole team is, so I do like this to play the zone, let them come to you. Bloodhound skin would be absolutely huge here, but we'll see if they end up just using their utility with the double wombo combo. I'm not sure if Flanker and Nocturnal both have their ultimate, but that could be really, really huge on the outside of this dome area. If you throw it on the inside, it's not going to nearly be as useful. Obviously, the eggshells would block that out, but you do have a rat somewhere on the Solafide side, I believe, and then you do have 2 full squads, as you can see, 7 in that top right.
Yeah, I believe it's Gentrifying that they spotted out on the right-hand side. Never actually finished him off, so he might be able to secure 2 more points for his squad, as it looks like he might just be in the ring, as trying to survive for as long as possible. Has thrown down that port for himself, and he's in. Does he create any damage onto Liquid from here? No, he just takes the port back, and he will go down. So it's a full 3v3, as Albralele goes for the peak, does really good damage here. Still the triple take as well. You can really just use that as a shotgun at this point. But the crossfire has been set up. The ultimates are coming down, as well as Nocturnal will back away off of this one for now. The double time speed, even when you're batting, pretty quick there, as that ultimate does dissipate. Here comes the repeat out from Flanker. He's trying his best to smoke them up as well, utilize that, but oh, they've already lost one. It's a 1-for-1 exchange, a 2-for-1 exchange now, as Liquid have the 2v1. Hakulo has almost no HP, about 40 left here, as he gets wide swung on, and Team Liquid will take game number 3.
Great job utilizing the double time there to go and get that extra speed boost, double back, speed up to go and get the angle from the player that was hiding behind the knockdown shields. And Team Liquid with the Bangalore coming through 3 different winners now here to start the day. Makes things a lot more exciting.
Yeah, but Team Liquid were very high on the leaderboard heading into game number 3. So this might be the first team that starts breaking away from the pack here as we do head into the half. And speaking of half, that means we're going to be taking our halftime break. So guys, we'll be back after a little bit of a longer break. But don't go anywhere. It's the second half of Series E Pro Night right after this.
Obviously, guys, welcome. We got Zara, Tricky, Mr. Haku, and Muffins here. How you guys doing today?
Doing good. Good, chilling.
Good. That's what we like to hear. So you guys are the champions of Season 1, obviously with the addition of Muffins instead of Mercy only. I just want to start it off strong. Zara, this question's for you. How did you feel with Season 1? Do you feel like, your team, you grew as a team overall and you made some necessarily adjustments moving into Season 2? Just kind of talk me through how, Season 1 went and how, you guys made those roster changes and are getting ready for Season 2.
Yeah, Season 1 was, it was a good time. Mercy's a great guy. We love Mercy. Honestly, shout out to Mercy. Great teammate. Whoop. But yeah, we decided, because we grew a lot overall just in Season 1 in general, and also just like outside of that, like in Apex, like ALGS, things like that. We did really well in it was the Autumn Circuit, I think. And we decided that maybe, we can find teammates, because since we've like established ourselves as better players, people will want to play with us. Maybe we can find better teams, just to see what's out there for us. So we split. Mercy's on a team, we're on a team, and we ended up with Muffins. The one and only.
Well, there you go. Hey, you gotta love it,
Hi, my name is Eric Tricky.
Yo, what's up? I'm Muffins.
Hey guys, I'm Mr. Haku. I play Apex Legends for Team Razor.
For Team Razor.
For Team Razor, and you're watching Series E.
Imagine you love frosting and filling.
I do love frosting and filling.
Oh, well, imagine if there was a way to enjoy that delicious goodness anywhere, anytime, out of the toaster, out of the box, out of one of those baggy thingies, with nothing but a thin layer of foil between you and...
Pasta.
Yes, Curtis. This is a commercial about pasta.
I love it.
Frosting and filling for your pasta.
I like pesto.
You want to zoom this in? I'm gonna do it.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, newest merch.
Yo, Bundy, where do you get this merch, dude?
esportsarena.com/shop.
Looks sick, Bundy.
I know. What's up, gamers? Conniekin's here. Behind the scenes. Look at this. This is like a camera.
We're doing a photo shoot today.
Stand loose. You're a goofy guy.
Yeah. Look at that. That's cute. That's a wallpaper.
I don't see anybody else as esports org with this many sponsors. That's all I'm saying.
What? You don't like that?
Why are you laughing? Do like, I don't know, is there like a Fortnite character that you like that doesn't take out storyline?
It's the eye when it comes to production and photography.
Yeah, put the Nintendo Direct right there.
Area.
What's up? Look at this crew neck, Connie. Show me this crew neck. Look at the embroidery. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Connie, how do those feel on your legs?
I love them, dude. I could literally live in these.
Howdy, he said hi.
GameCube controller. Get out of here.
We wanted to ask
this.
Phone and I just saw it.
Oh my god.
Like this thing right here. You get that on camera?
Watch your fingers.
Yes.
Put the camera down. Can you guys put these cameras down and like actually help Kyle?
Buddy, here, you can just take this. No, Brandon, keep vlogging.
Yeah, I don't know why he's thinking that. It's just...
We got Tyler posing over here looking like a badass. We got Kyle doing some great shots where he pulls back and...
3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a whole vibe, Connie. Gaming, dog. Gaming.
It's almost taxi.
Where's your camera? In the box?
In the box. You think the elevator's working?
No.
No. It was really dangerous. That was some Final Destination.
Yes.
Show us the picture.
No.
Hey guys, we're gonna...
Yeah, we did it. We made it. Right before the sun. 5:40. That's a whole lot.
Welcome back, guys, to Series E Season number 2. This is our first pro night of the season. We've had 3 separate winners across the first half. As we head into the second half today, let's go ahead and take a look at the Mobile One leaderboard to see where we're standing. Team Liquid now are in the clear lead above TSM by 12 points there. In first place with 44, TSM in second place with 32, and Team Razor in third place with 26. But the middle of the pack, pretty still close, and we have 3 games left to go. There's a lot of room for movement here, Tom.
It's always fun when Team Liquid, TSM are always duking it towards the top, and teams like CLG could end up getting up there. Sentinels, who was coming through fighting a lot, but ended up getting third-partied. Still anyone's game, though. Hope you guys enjoyed the halftime break. We still got 3 more games to go.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, Sentinels had 9 points in game number 1, I believe, and have only averaged 1 game per game in 2 and 3. Let's take a look at the Mobile One high-performance moment of game number 3. As the end here, Team Liquid, they tried to get a little bit aggressive inside Dome earlier on. You have to remember, But it was a quick call coming out from Alberlele to get them out of here, hold this position, and this was the winning position for them.
And you can see the gold helmet, gold armor. Having gold armor always makes these skirmishes so much better because you can elect to just hit one cell and get right back into it instead of hitting a full battery. The defensive bombardment comes down, everyone kind of disperses. As soon as that comes down, you can kind of expect the enemy team to go and make their push, but they don't push up all the way, and they don't end up utilizing a bubble. Most likely because the bubble was down on respawn. If they were able to go in advance with that, could have ended up getting into a little bit of Mastiff fight. You see Flanker doesn't have a Mastiff there, so it would have been a little bit more difficult. This is the perfect kind of hipfire scenario with a little bit of ADS for these two automatic weapons, and it makes it basically impossible for Hacula to go and win this one when they take such smart angles. The use of the double time right there, the slide through, and the finish for Flanker, perfectly executed from Liquid.
Yeah, and gotta appreciate that wall bounce. Try to peek out from the Bloodhound, just was not enough, and there's just beautiful angle holding and crossfire being set up for Liquid, understanding the position that they were in, and really there's no issue for them to just go full wide swing on this. And so great win coming out from them. They are now the leaders with 12 points as we head into the next game. Game number 4, the first game of the second half. Now Razor, once again, have been getting contested over here by Third Impact. And here they are, the scans out from either side. 2 of them over by the supply bin respawn beacon as Hacula has taken a lot of damage. I don't know exactly where it was from, but he needs to drop it down now, reconnect with his team. The bubble has been used by Zera Tricky as well as they're trying to push that bubble. Muffins take a lot of damage, and now Muffins stands his ground, is able to trade away at the very least. So that's a 1-for-1 as that TSM cooler fight still taking place, and Snipe Down is just laying into them. What? Cooler fight lands are back, but oh my goodness. All right, back to this fight though. It's gonna be a 1v2. Zera Tricky trying to push up now as he gets swung on by both. He's able to get the knock onto Jazz, but oh my goodness, the shot's actually missing as he tries to climb over the box now. He's going to be able to reload that Havoc and go back in with that Scout as well as the scan comes out, giving him much valuable information, but a quick shoulder peek coming out from that Gibraltar. We'll tickle away at Zera Tricky, who has the HP advantage. You have to remember that Zera Tricky was able to get the thirst at the very least. So that's an armor swap for that Gibraltar. Don't know if he picked that one up. We'll find out in just a moment here. Again, it's a tense situation, which generally these 50-50s at Epicenter are. The bubble has come out. That's going to be the fast res. Tries to bait that one. But here comes the scan. It's 2 hostiles detected as he goes for the swing, and he will be able to secure it. Zera Tricky keeping Razor alive. Will there be a third party here, though? Well, we'll have to hold that as 303 are taking on Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, another fight. This is the Geyser 50-50 that we've had. These teams not giving up after halftime. They're coming right back for some more fighting, more dueling. Pop-Tarts looking pretty solid in terms of armor. It's not the best, but we'll see what the other team has. It looks like they want to get aggressive because they feel like they have the upper advantage right here. There's no reason that they would go and push and use the bubble in that type of instance. The other team is going to push on this. Looks like they do have pretty solid armors. Stomp's going to catch with a couple, but the grenade pushes them out and filters them over towards the side. Another grenade is going to make him have to dodge over towards the side again. Scan does come through in from Impulse. They see that they're taking the opposite side, which is going to be onto the roof, but a knock right there onto Bambino. Stomps tries to clamber up. ASCII is there to answer. The Sentinels and Pringles still duking it out over towards the sorting side. Big spray coming in from Lucas. Looked like he wanted to go for the finish in the armor swap, but the enemy team is going to still be there. And now he's looking for this 1v1. The res does come into the window, so now it's going to be a 2-on-1 situation. Not looking good for Lucas. He's going to have to get this thirst and armor swap immediately.
He's trying really quickly, but now he gets... Oh, he wasn't even able to get the armor swap. Throughout all of that, by the way, Pringles were able to win their fight up against Sentinels over at Sorting Factory. And so Pringles answering back now as Cheez-Its are in a fight. I believe this is Team Intel, right? They were doing the 50-50 dance all tournament long, and they will continue to do this. As CLG, during their rotate, we have a better idea where the ring is going. It is pulling up to the north here, and so they want to try and play for the God spot as the scans do come out from Vaxlon. Only holding on inside Train Tunnel. There might be a team that's playing over by that respawn beacon, so maybe they make their move for that. As round 1 finishes closing, we're down to 16 squads, 46 players remaining already, and this has just been the tale of the evening as Cheez-It are making their push now onto Team Intel. Blackout, Joey Blackout has done a lot of damage already, but it's Panders to get the first knock, taking Joey Blackout out. Prodigy Ace pops into that queue and leaving Rakanishu by himself, trying to get this thirst. He got the knock onto Metro, but now it's Prodigy Aces with 5 HP in a 2v1. The Thermite maybe gets the thirst for him, but nah, the damage isn't quite there as he's able to get one syringe off. The Thermite barely missing him. The high ground peak will come out very shortly here, and Team Intel will win out this 50-50 down in Lava City.
Yeah, I like seeing 6 on the Wraith instead of on Caustic. Just really doesn't make sense with the kind of playstyle that he has and how fast he is. Pandas also, keep in mind, was one of our highest kill getters throughout the weekend in the ALGS, but it's so interesting to watch teams like Rice Krispie Treats, like CLG, fighting for positions that actually matter, than two teams at Lava City just griefing each other. Just so different in how they want to go and approach this type of situation. So we'll see what Team Rice Krispie Treats is going to do. Again, this train tunnel is very popular for multiple teams to coexist.
Yeah, I mean, the grief is for a good reason, right? It's about the long term at this point. It's the long con coming out for them. As Rice Krispie Treats running into CLG, you have to imagine at this point, inside train tunnel right now, round 1 closing, excuse me. I thought it was round, oh my goodness, I didn't realize there was just so much action. I didn't realize that it was the round 1 closing start when I made that call earlier on. I'm already down to 15 squads, 44 players, and I feel like this is probably one of the fastest games that we've had so far. As here is Rice Krispie Treats. They do have the option, of course, to be playing over at Survey instead. As Casper, he does have that high ground angle for himself. They got the port down as well. They want to retreat into the buildings here, as looks like they want to renew their efforts to holding down inside the routing tunnel.
Yeah, I think that's the play for sure, as we see what's going on over towards Sorting Factory. Looks like a little bit of a scuffle going on, and whoa, it's going to be Song with the big burst coming in with the Volt. Aves playing this high ground. Isn't going to be able to help out Rolders. Rolders is now by him lonesome in a 2-versus-1 situation. Z Dave's going to be there to get the knock right there. That's going to be SCA in a 3-versus-1 now, and it looks like Applejack's going to have to bail on this one. I'm not sure how that happened. They were extremely split.
Yeah, you saw Aves from Aves' perspective. Just his teammates crumbling there, and so SCA, their equipment already looks fantastic. They've got the double purples along with the gold on Sung, and now they'll have a lot of loot to work off of. Razor is here. CLG might be making a push on top of them right now. No, it's not even, as the EMP comes in. Defensive bombardment has been used. They back away from this one. They have to give up the God spot. We saw Razor win a game off of this position before, but now they cannot. They have been completely evicted here, but as Muffins goes for the repeat, he almost gets a knock himself. Hakulo will clear that drone for the time being. Again, they have to restabilize. They need to heal up. Zeratricky still needs to heal up his shields now. And so Razor, it looks like they will make a second go of things. Going for the peak, it's RKT coming in for the third party. CLG getting punished. Baxlon has gone down. Perfect timing coming out from Rice Krispie Treats there, as the port has been used by Madness to try and get Vax back. But as you can see, Casper sets up for the flank, and he's on position. On top of that, will be able to get the damage across with the help of Casper taking out Lou, with the help of Bird taking out Lou. And Razor will be able to take back the God spot with the help of Team Rice Krispie Treats.
Yeah, a little bit of teaming up there on the big dog. CLG gets taken down, and now Reps gets involved as TSM going to come through and say, hey, we want a little bit of this. TSM typically will play either towards that right-hand choke, or they're going to play towards this backhand wall, which you see they rotate over from that refinery fairly late, epicenter fairly late. They're not interested in pushing all the way, though, because they understand that this could just create a non-stop domino effect of fighting over here. So they're just going to take what's given to them and kind of back up and just hold the area. You can see Hal's the guy that's kind of looking around, but that is going to be Casper, and Team Liquid and Rice Krispie Treats getting into it still, as they are going to bleed out on the Team Razor side. So absolute bloodbath over here on the backside of the map.
Yeah, and that's why the call was made. First, they don't have a Wraith, right? So they don't have a port. It would be a full commit if they try to full send it onto them. But MPL came in for that third party onto Razor, as now Liquid making their way on up. They've got a team trapped out here, as the port was used to get out of the truck for now. Nocturnal taking some damage, but it's at the high ground, and you have Albralele right on top of them with the PK. Oh my goodness. Sola Fide have not been able to win team fights today as Liquid take it to them. We're back on board with Rice Krispie Treats. He are in full control of the train tunnel now with CLG gone. And they do have a team trying to move up here, still playing over at Skyhook.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Solafide is coming out a little slow today, but what are you going to do when Albarelli comes through with the Peacekeeper? And his Peacekeeper is just so strong again. It's been one of those players that was on a Pathfinder for a very long time, kind of coined that grapple into the PK, and now he's on the Wraith this time around doing some serious damage. You see a little zipline action coming through for the boy Stunny if he wants to get back to his team just a little bit easier. Pop the Q, hit the zipline, come right back over towards the high ground. And sometimes you could bait players out with something like that, so I do like this positioning coming in for Team Rice Krispie Treats. It's been one of their more impressive days since forming their team.
Yeah, and again, this is still ring number 2, by the way, and we're down to 12 squads, 33 players remaining. So we might have a rat around. Maybe some teams are missing a player as Team Pringles, again, they've been able to bounce back. Taking the 50-50 up against Sentinels is impressive. We don't have the full picture of what went down over there for Sentinels. It might have just been maybe bad loot, or it was a good 3-on-1 drop. I don't know what happened there. But here's 303. They've got the red armor already on for Paradise. ASCII hasn't made any progress on his blue quite yet. Bambino, 556 damage away as well, as they are walking in with this ring just on the edges here to play on the rocks to the east of the next zone. And it is a free path for them. I mean, that's what happens when basically half the lobby is already dead.
Yeah, I thought you were going to call Bamboozle for a second, and I wouldn't have been mad at all. I'm a little upset that Matt Pickett gave up on Mirage, though. It was always fun watching him play that one. Let's see what they're going to be able to do. This is another tough rotation coming through. You have to make your way into this high ground and then take the angle as this zone is going to close. I do like this play. It's going to really come down to ASCII putting down a bubble here very shortly, and once they do, this fight is going down.
Beast of the Hunt has been popped from Bambino as he wants to get the continuous scans, and there's the value off of it as they take to the skies here. We have the the black hole right on top of them with all of those nades coming down. Defensive bombardment has been used, and that was good timing. Wait for the gravity lift and then throw it down, but it looks like 303 needs some time here. They reset. The batteries have been popped as Paradise leading the charge here, backs away off of this one. They were able to get the knock onto Aves, finishing that one off. Now Paradise in a spot of trouble here, especially with the rocks making it a little difficult to get out, but he will survive as Liquid pick up 3 more kills for themselves. Paradise needs to heal up as he's just lacking heals at this point. It's TSM right on top of them, dropping down as well with the gas. They'll be able to get the thirst onto ASCII and to continue the hunt down as Imperial Hell gets the knock onto Paradise, and they flip around to finish 303 off TSM. Now again, of course, the simple fact that they're live means they win that fight up against Cooler. We were talking about that earlier on. So the 50-50s swinging in the favor of TSM again.
And Hal's going to send these guys a little grab lift so they can get to him a little bit faster. Really nice spray there with he had the R9 with the 2X originally. He's going to go and swap that one for the R301 with the 2X. So it just goes to show you the difference in the meta right now. Typically you would see Volt, you would see Mastiff, you would see R9 Mastiff, something along those lines, but Hal's playing a little bit different. He's going to be going with, I guess you could say the Rogue combo, the Rogue Rat combo, that R301 EVA 8. So now Team Intel, haven't seen much of them quite yet. Looks like they're going to be fresh off of their Lava City win now with a long rotation all the way here to the top hand side of the map, all the way making their way north. Looks like they will meet up with possibly TSM though. That's going to be Hal coming through with the EVA 8. Bubble is going to go through. You have one player that's going to be weak, sniped down with the red Evo armor, strafing in between the bubble left and right. Meanwhile, there's another fight happening over towards the side. Somehow, it's going to be just up to Reps with 1 HP. There goes the defensive bombardment. It's not going to hit. And it should disappear as well as Reps is going to come through with the jumping shot there to the body. The Mastiff going to connect. And the res coming through at the right time. They should be able to hit this right when the zone's moving.
Yeah, the gold bag MVP here. They're fully reset essentially at this point to walk on in with this. Snipe, you don't need to pop a full med kit there, but hey, you can definitely if you want to. Season now taking on Rice Krispie Treats. The Sunny has gone down. Season were the team that took out Razor in the God spot, and so they should be in positioning over there, holding them out now. As you can see, actually MPL with the pinch as well, coming in from the south side of the tunnel, but they have to back away off this one. Never mind, Dracos will go ahead and push into the tunnel now, as he's already used that bubble. Liquid, have to be careful, but here we go. Great high ground angle from Nocturnal, gets the spray down. We have the massive shots connecting, only hitting for about 100 total there. NPL's Dracos does go down. Ronnie is left once again to his lonesome. Throughout all that, Liquid have lost out on one. Flanker popping that bat. They will be able to get that, but here comes a third party from Navi's. Flanker's the only one left. He's got the double time to try and back out of this one, survive into another team. How long can he survive for? The movement's coming out from him right into the entirety of Team Pringles, by the way. Navi, though, looking to try and take advantage of this, but with some good damage, Kuya at least slows them down. They have to back away, though, as they have to fully heal up with the medkits and the bats. We're now down to the final 4 squads.
Unfortunately for Team Liquid, they had a pinch going on, a big squeeze. Navi came through and is going to take advantage of that. But what great shots from Kuya with the 2-4X on that G7 Scout. Looks like he's going to keep that one too, because they're connecting so well instead of going on over to an R301 or an R99 instead. But this is Navi's best game so far. They were kind of sitting over towards the bottom of the leaderboard. 4 squads left. We know 2 are definitely coexisting over towards that God spot, and the other team looks like they are rotating towards the bottom of Survey Factory. So Navi is going to be the last team out right now in terms of all the teams that got to make the rotations in.
I wonder if that's TSM. It's hard to tell what they outline sometimes. If we can spot out a horizon in that squad, we do have the Bloodhound scan on top of them, and here come the G7 Scout shots. Ooh, nice cover fire there, but you're still disconnected from your squad, stuck inside that building. But Na'Vi, they don't have that Bloodhound scan. They don't have the information. Never mind, that was, I believe, TSM there. Ooh, Snipedown gets taken out. That's going to be Season. Klain picking that one up. Is he in a vulnerable spot? It's Pringles, actually, that's stuck over here at Survey Camp. Thank you for swapping around observers, and Snipedown did get thirsted by Rambo. And so TSM will be playing this out as a duo, but they still have an incredibly potent composition, or excuse me, combo, with the Nox Gas Grenade along with that black hole. So the possibility for the win is definitely there, especially when you consider it's TSM. Imperial Howl wins those. We'll find out, though, as 4 seconds left. The ring will start closing in. And right now, Rep's doing some good shot, doing some great cover fire there. Hal can back off if he wants to, with that kind of anchor coming out from him. He is a little bit low on the ammo. They're picking up the damage, but not the kills quite yet. He will back off for now. Try to cut them off during the rotate, but the scan is there. Getting shot at, and it looks like TSM are just gonna go ahead and full send it. Here comes the black hole. Do they have the Nox Gas Grenade? Arcstar right inside. They drop right on top. Hal takes out Pringles' Phony along with Presley. Oh no, Reps isn't able to get the final kill. Unfortunately, Season picked that one up, and now we're down to a 3v3 2-squad situation here, and it's Team Season setting up the crossfire against this squad that is stuck inside. That's gonna be Na'Vi, I believe, and made their way through Train Tunnel.
Spitfire here.
SCN has been loving locking down this spot for quite some time, but man, Hal is an absolute psycho for that play. They almost pulled it off too. 2-on-3, about 100 HP, the black hole into the Arcstar. But here's the final fight happening right here. SCN and Klain trying to take some good angles. 7 kills, only 754 damage. That's what you love to see. But here's the angle that needs to be taken over towards this little cut area. This little ramp is perfect for the head glitch, but they realize that they're a little bit split, so they go and send it over towards the side. Bubble has to be popped. Can he get the PK through? Looks like Na'Vi is going in on this. The EMP is going to be popped, but it's a little bit too late. And there it is. SCN, Klain going huge that game.
Season by being able to take that position away from Team Razor and ultimately get the win there. And man, that was some great team fighting ultimately in the end. Well, like we were talking about, love seeing that 2v3 full commit onto Team Pringles there. It was just a matter of a sliver of damage there, and they could have secured themselves 3rd place along with 3 more kill points. Unfortunately, did not happen, but great effort. Congratulations to Season to taking that game. We're going to go ahead and take a short break. When we get back, we'll have the continuation of Series E after this.
Okay, well, moving into season 2 and obviously also throughout season 1, guys, I'd love to know who your main supporters are. You know, who do you guys see in chat? Who's really been supporting you guys through socials, etc.? Anyone you want to give shout outs to, all that kind of stuff. Zara, let's go ahead and start with you. Who you got?
Shout out to Vestal for being the best chat mod in the world.
Okay, he's going straight for he's shouting out a single name. You know, earlier we were talking to Bambino earlier, and Bambino was like, I can't pick just one. I can't just pick one of my mods. They're gonna start fighting amongst themselves. So just shout out to all my mods, right?
Zara took the dangerous.
But not Zara. Zara's like, nope, you're number one. You're the best mod. Everybody else, unmodded. Love it. How about you, Hakula? You got anybody in chat rooting you on?
Just my friends that watch me, I guess.
Okay, friends who watch you. Shout out. You know who you are.
Yep.
How about you, Muffins?
Oh gosh, we got the whole gang, the whole clan, man. Complexity, Liquid Boys, shout out to those guys. Always cheering us on, gassing us up, and trying to teach us things when they can without giving too much away. It's a competition still.
Yep.
But yeah, and then of course my old man, he's always checking in, seeing how I'm doing. So.
Love that, man. We love seeing the parents in chat. We got a couple famous parents who always hang out in the chat and root on the young ones, which is always a blast, guys. But
hi, my name is Eric Tricky.
Yo, what's up? I'm Muffins.
Hey guys, I'm Miss Chocolate. I play Apex Legends for Team Razor.
For Team Razor.
For Team Razor, and you're watching Series E.
Stack Pringles flavors. Make new ones.
How much do you think Pringles paid these people?
Hardly anything. Hey, you guys want to stack different Pringles flavors to create new flavor combos? Here, I'll go first. Pizza, barbecue, and jalapeno. The spicy barbecue pizza stack. Get him!
Grandpa, what's going on?
Pringles. We're trapped in a Pringles commercial. They must have taken us in our sleep.
How can we get out?
We can't, Summer. They weren't. Stack Pringles flavors. Make new ones.
How much do you think Pringles paid these people?
Hardly anything. Hey, you guys want to stack different Pringles flavors to create new flavor combos? Here, I'll go first. Pizza, barbecue, and jalapeno. The spicy barbecue pizza stack. Get him!
Grandpa, what's going on?
Pringles. We're trapped in a Pringles commercial. They must have taken us in our sleep.
How can we get out?
We can't, Summer. They warned me this would happen, and I didn't listen. Stack Pringles, make endless new flavors. Stacking Pringles to make new flavors. Make endless new flavors. Barbecue, wavy, and sour cream and onion equals a 3-layer dip.
All right, welcome back, guys, to Series E. As we've been having some technical difficulties all night long, so really appreciate all the viewers that are sticking it through with us. But we do have the lobby set up, the players getting in. We'll get into game very shortly. It'll be game number 5. That means we've had 4 games so far and 4 different winners, which means when we take a look at the the mobile one leaderboard, it's going to show that we still have a fairly even split, but teams are starting to break away. Team Liquid in first place with 57 points, TSM behind them by 10 points with 47, and after that win, Season propelled themselves into 3rd place position with 46 points, Tom.
Can't count out Team Razor quite yet, though, sitting in 4th place with 30 points, and that's where things start to get interesting because you have a little bit of a group up there with a lot of different teams that could potentially run away with a win here in game number 5 and make things interesting going into game number 6. But SCN bouncing back there with a really solid performance. Klain really popped off there. His tracking was phenomenal. His decision-making was super on point. But, man, TSM is playing out of their minds in terms of aggression. I love to see it. One thing that really confused me is how Snipedown went down. I think that was pretty unlucky. I think it was the scout shots over towards the side. Let's take a look at the Mobile 1 high-performance moment from the last game and see if we can find anything that we missed.
Yeah, and so this is TSM making that last-ditch call here during the rotate. They knew they were going to get gate kept now, and so they just opt for the full send. As you can see, there's going to be a team to their north and the team coming in from their south. Their angles are just covered, and here's the call coming out from Hal. Gravity lift going down, and he throws in that black hole. If they had the Nox gas grenade, this might have been the full wipe, but still decent damage. They get 2 before going down. Unfortunate for them, they get wiped up in 4th place position. This could have been a lot of additional points here as Season were able to steal some of those away.
Yeah, Season, again, it was really up to Klain and the way that he was able to maneuver throughout a lot of these times that was really, really impressive overall. And they had so much loot. Again, they wiped out a lot of teams over towards the side right here. But again, that's what you want to see is 7 kills for only 745 damage. That means that you're playing this right. And it doesn't mean that you're, not doing a ton of damage, but you're doing a ton of damage at the right time. Obviously, the team support's going to be there. No one's really interested in that gold Spitfire. It looks like we're going to get right into game number 5, though. No delay. As SCN closed out that final moment right there. It was a little late of an EMP coming in from Na'Vi, but here's a 50-50 with Razor and 3rd impact down towards the bottom of Epicenter.
Jazz and Zicky already able to get the kill and Thirst on to Muffin, so it's now down to a 2v3 for Team Razor. Zero Tricky only has about 60 HP, and it looks like the call is made, and we're just going to back up off of this one. He doesn't have a secondary gun himself, and he's only got the Volt, but he's not even playing at optimal range here, as he's trying to create some distance between himself and 3rd impact. Remember, Razor had about 30 points going into this one. TSM versus Cooler still going off, as they do trade 1-for-1 right now. Reps with that 30-30 repeater is able to trade at least back for Nasky, and so that's another 50-50 we'd love to see. Reps will get the Thirst with that Thermite as well, and he gets another knock, taking out Dell. So it's going to be a 2v1 for TSM, as the other 50-50 over at Geyser is taking place. Pop-Tarts versus 303. And speaking of another 50-50, this is going to be Cheez-It versus Intel right now for the fight for Lava City.
That fight for Lava City is never ending. I think it's going to last all of Series E on our Pro Day and on our Open Day, because these two teams will face it off. But it looks like Cooler was able to win against TSM. Not quite sure how that was transpiring, but 303 is still going at it with the Geyser squad. So if we can switch on over there to find out who won that fight, that would be awesome. Looks like they are going to get the res. It's going to be a 2-on-1 scenario. Nice spray there from ASCII, using a little bit of that armor shield. You can see all the players just crawling on the ground right there, and those are all the members of Team Pop-Tarts. Bambino needed to heal. He left that one up to ASCII, and ASCII delivered.
Yeah, that was beautiful. As you saw him holding the angle just above the knockdown shield, a vulnerable spot, really. So great cursor placement there for him for now in 303, getting the better of this 50-50 once again. Now, the implications of that Cooler versus TSM fight is massively important. Remember, TSM, we're sitting in 2nd place now, going down with 1 point, I believe, total. They got the Thirst onto 1 member, I believe, of Cooler. And so going into game number 5, the last 2 games of the evening, only getting 1 point in that game is massive. Rakanishu is in, and he's gotten the knock onto Panders. as it looks like Third Impact are chasing down the rest of Razor, and they are out here. Team Cheez-It, they're able to get a second knock onto Metro, and now Prodigy Aces will give his life for that effort. Rakanishu coming in and finishing off that. So the 50-50 going the way of Team Cheez-It once again.
Not surprising that Rakanushi is the one that picked those kills up too. It's all about the Bloodhound in those type of instances, hitting the scans, finding the weaknesses in the team when they're split up, coming through with the support plays. Joey Blackout had the barrels if they wanted to fight over towards that office area. And it's pretty common for the Wraith to be the player that go down when they're trying to push up and you don't get that Q down as fast as possible. But now we're going to have to find out where this zone is, find out how aggressive Team Cheez-It wants to play for the rest of this one, see if they're going to continue to try to steamroll this one. No mag on the R301 is a little weak. And it looks like based on shooting this thing and going for it that they're just going to take their sweet time. No rush to go and rotate, especially after fighting that 50-50.
Yeah, maybe they get a gold mag off of that. Speaking of gold, Team Rockstar are able to get 2 gold armors along with the purple for Matt Pickett. Incredibly strong start here as they're now making their way through Harvester down to the south side. And so this might possibly be maybe a tree ending, maybe goes over to launch. We haven't taken a look at the map quite yet. We will find out shortly here as they spotted it out that these bins have already been looted. And for the time being, they might just hold this position over here. There we go, getting the EVA 8. This is what's happening. His MPL are playing over by the high ground on that connector area. NPL with the Beast of the Hunt, Bambino, gets some good damage off, and now he throws in that Arc Star. Will that be the fatal one? Looks like no connect for him there. He will have another scan to work off of for now, but he's getting tagged from a different angle. That's the third party as he's trying to back away. The movement speed of the Beast of Hunt allows him to get back, and take a look at how far back the rest of NPL were playing. That could have been very dangerous, but he got one final scan off, and they will be able to hold back, and it looks like it will be pulling over here towards the back end of tree.
Looks like Nestle Pure Life wanted to add aggression, but that's why the E-Boy Ratboy Ronnie cam is so popular, because they end up splitting up big time, and it looks like Team Rockstar is split up. There goes the res. Not a gold bag though. Portal is going to be placed, but the shots from Gentrifying are just too much. Looks like they are going to be watching that portal. Grenades are going to connect. Huge Arc Star there from Tech is going to drop design. Full bubble is going to be there as well. Looks like he's going to get to Q for this one. He's going to try to use the knockdown shield. Interesting.
Oh boy, they're getting tagged from a different angle though. There's a team on tree as NPL are coming in for the third party now on top of Solifide. Solifide have already lost out on 2. NPL are picking up the remnants here. Ronnie does go down to the defensive bombardment of Ronnie. What? Wait, never mind. Sorry, excuse me. Here we go. They got the res from Dracos though. They still have, I believe, Rockstar down there. He has study throughout all of this, and wow, they're just pushing through these ports, trying to punish as Matt Pickett goes down now again, and Bambino holding the high ground angle. Ronnie's going to slow heal off of this one. It looks like only has syringes at the very least. Bubble has been used as Dracos is holding it. Hits for that gold at the very least, as Cooler are getting into a fight up against 303. Liquid, excuse me, Rice Krispie Treats are in here for the third party, and they have found one at the very least, a kill right now, as it looks like Cooler were able to finish their fight up against 303. NPL fully healed now have taken position inside of this card, but you might want to just back away off of this one and gain their position once again, the backside of tree. CLG find themselves in a fight over here at Sorting Factory though, as Pringles have lost out on 1. They might be coming in for the third party here. You can see a lot of the caustic gas going down as well, but Phony with the scans, it's not going to impair his vision here. They still need to get Fury back into this one as the full heal comes out from Phony at this point. Cross angle has been set up, and now they're going to try and full commit onto the lone player who's trying to push the stairs, but he backs off into a position where he does have the cover fire of his squad backing away through all of that. Fury does get thirsted despite that, and it looks like Team Rice Krispies find themselves in another fight as well. They recover the beacon of Fury, but they're still stuck in a very tight spot here, Tom.
This office spot is only good when you have a Watson, and if you have a Caustic, that's even better, but it looks like Team Pringles is stuck in a very tough spot right now. 3 players you can see on the player outlines, plus another team over towards their right-hand side. This is not a good situation to be in. Basically, you're trying to have presence, but you don't want to show that you're only a two-man squad, and guess what? That'll show you're a two-man squad of Bloodhound scan over towards the side. So difficult situation again to be in, and it looks like Beast of the Hunt could be popped, and they could try to do some crazy maneuvering here, but without a portal play, without a Wraith even on their team, it's going to be very, very tough. That team did start to rotate out over towards the buildings. That is their only opportunity to go and make a play, but they don't realize that that team's gone.
Yeah, luckily for them, the looming threat of the third party was what stopped the squads from pushing in on each other. And so we're seeing some passive play throughout our games tonight, as Team Cheez-It have found themselves a position inside Sorting Factory right now, as they are starting to make their way on into the main building. They might have their go at trying to push Team Pringles now, as they have reached the banana building. It's Joey Blackout leading the charge for his squad so far, as they make their way into the bend. There's some caustic traps there, though. Unfortunately, does he have a sliver to work with to try and pop this? Doesn't look like it, so he's just going to go ahead and take out that door.
Yeah, Team Cheez-It is posturing like all these other teams at Sorting Factory, getting ready for this one. I'm not sure exactly what sorting ending this could potentially be, but it looks like most likely going to be in between sorting and tree. Could be over towards those buildings, but Caustic is just so dang strong in these scenarios. I'm not surprised to see Cheez-It get aggressive over here, especially if Joey Blackout can make some plays. I don't think that's their thermite, so we can't go and run through that one, but trying to connect through some scout shots, and does connect for about 70 on that one player with the purple armor over towards the backhand side. That's enough for Prodigy Aces to go and send this one. Beast of the Hunt being popped by Rakanishu. They're starting to push in, but they realize multiple teams in the vicinity, so that's going to be a big scan. They're watching all the different angles. That player didn't realize they were already pre-watching that. Nice job by Rakanishu. But they're realizing they've been off a little bit more than they can shoot here. There are a lot of players around.
Oh boy, he got taken down to about 40 HP there. He will ultimately fall. Madness with the R301 picks that one up. They try to cover the entrance there on the right-hand side, but he's able to sneak on in, and the port comes out to try and recover Rakanishu. As the scan does come out, and so CLG understand they can get aggressive off this, especially with this bubble now sliding in. Prodigy Aces missed the first shot, misses the second shot, but he's got the 2-for-1 peek going on in. Is able to get Lou, but he gives it over for his life as Vaxlon is able to take him out with that EVA 8. It's all up to Joey Blackout, trying his best to play around the barrels. The res is actually stuck, and that's going to allow him to get the double knock, but Madness does recover. Survives for now. He's got the gold bag res as well, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, I wonder if Lou has a gold bag too, because you would think he'd be the one that has that throughout all there. But what a job by Madness finishing that out. Very impressive caustic play from Joey Blackout. And it looks like they don't have 2 gold bags. There's that one right there. Going to go on over to the Gibby. Lou may play a little bit more passive throughout all that, knowing that he's the person that will be getting the reses throughout all of this. But impressive plays from CLG. Taking down Rakanishu was the big opening there, and Team Cheez-It has been dooming the last 2 days, so CLG is starting to heat up just a little bit, and they're going to need a W here because we saw that leaderboard. Right now, it's all TSM Liquid in season.
Yeah, but these points, these early game kills, mid-game kills, are massively important. Here's Team Rice Krispie Treats, though, holding this position over at Tree. Ring does pull away from them as Casper gets tagged big, but with the help of Bird, they take out Nesh, and so they'll have the mad advantage up against Na'Vi. Stunny taking a zipline to get across, create another angle for his squad. They try to find the rest of Na'Vi. Here comes the bubble res, though. The res might have actually already gone down, as Stunny wants to push this bubble, but he needs the rest of his team here, and they are starting to form up around him right now. A lot of utility being used. Defensive bombardment goes down. Doesn't look like it hits anything, though, and they have given up on this fight, as another team might have been getting involved as well. Never mind, no, they're still continuing to charge forward. Here is they do have these rocks to work with on their next ring. Here, CLG finding themselves another fight. That office building is becoming a graveyard now, as Madness holding the window. He's got full 3-man squad. Someone is peeking out from the left, and someone needs to be watching that for now. Vaxlon has to be careful with how he holds this angle. Lou catches them peeking out from the stairs. He does go down. They haven't traded back quite yet. That's season to fall to Vax. It's going to be a 2v2 now, as Vax and Madness get another one. 2v1, pushing forward with that EVA 8, and it's blindingly fast when you've got that purple bolt on it. And Madness Wishing he had that gold back. He actually does, and gets Lou back up. And so they'll be able to recover off of this one. 9 squads remaining with 19 players left.
What a team fight there from CLG. You thought that once you see Lou go down, that season had a huge advantage, but just didn't pay off for the one player that stayed back inside of the building as the office got charged over towards the side. So back-to-back really solid team fights, taking down 2 of our top teams over the last 2 days by CLG, and that's what you kind of expect from them. And now I believe they have double gold bags, which is a little bit scary, directly in the center of the zone. Wish we could get a scan on zone number 4, find out which one this is actually going to be, because there's so many different endings over towards Sorting Factory. I'm not even sure if these players know.
Yeah, they're pulling out the armors for themselves as well. They are directly center zone, and it is going to be Tech who has swapped on over. It's the Tomcat Rat Cam. And unfortunately for him, you know, that Crypto was paying off dividends for Team Rockstar. He was able to get them back into 2 games with that drone. This time around, though, he's on that Wraith, and so they are down, as it looks like, CLG have to hold it down once again. Another team intriguing upon their area here. He does get through that arm shield and hits, but he backs off and does heal up, and they should have a lot of utility here, and a lot of heals as well, with all the bodies that have gone down. Scan out, showing that the entire team is postured over by Banana for the time being, as Lou wants to try and push up. And his aim, of course, has been on point. Gets hit for 50 there. Madness goes for the peak himself. Gets hit for about 60 or 70. And here comes the repeat now. They've got the heals up. They'll try and challenge once again. Who's on the other side of this fight? It's going to be Cooler pushing up. It's almost the same position. You got 2 purple armors and 1 red Evo shield. Nasky is the one that's holding onto the Evo for Cooler. It's going to be a disengage from either side. Cooler watching their back, and now we have a better idea where the ring's going to go. It's going to pull down, and so that office building was the call. It's still in for the time being. So CLG and Cooler might fight over this.
Looks like someone wants the Prowler. That's going to be Lou grabbing that one, and looks like Madness is going to switch on over to the Volt with the gold mag as well. Going to need a little bit of ammo for that one. That's why he's going and checking all these boxes throughout all of that, making sure that he's not leaving any. And there it is. Gets a little 50 stack right there and make sure that he's good to go for the rest of this game. We saw how fast you can run out of ammo with that R9. We brought it up when he had around 250 shots. Next thing you know, you're running down to just 24 overall. So the value in these very aggressive games of ammo ends up becoming extremely huge. We already know how big your utility is, including that would be your grenades over towards the tail end of the game. So now we get that zone pull, and it looks like it's going to continue to kind of go in between these 2 areas, which means once teams have to rotate out of the building, Gibraltar value skyrockets.
Yeah, and the value of Lou also having that Prowler with the gold bag means that he's going to have a lot of inventory space. And so he could be the loot mule, basically, for CLG. Here we are on board with Applejacks, who are playing a position right across from Banana right now, and it's just going to be a standstill. 7 squads remaining, 16 players left. We know that Tech is riding this one out. There may be another rat in the wings, as we do have 5 players currently missing. Applejacks making their move now to control the rooftop of the office building here, as their current position was out. Ooh, he spawned one out, hitting for flesh already, as he hits for another 15. That is the Volt, though, basically. Makes it a little bit difficult to secure a kill from that range, even with a 2x on that. Ring closing in, as Dupe is doing a great job of checking their back. Aves took a lot of damage there, but at least forced that player back.
I like this rotation from Applejacks. I think that playing the roof is something we see Sentinels do fairly often. CLG feels a little bit more comfortable in here because of the amount of loot and just resources that they have inside here, and also obviously can make the rotation through the snake if they wanted to, but they're gonna have to deal with that team, and rightfully so. I mean, they've already dealt with a handful of teams in here, some very solid teams, as all the teams in here are very, very solid. So we'll see what happens. They're more concerned about an actual third party than anything, and now we see the split of the zone as predicted, kind of moving in that open area, and now we have to see what Lou's gonna be able to do. Gonna have plenty of healing. Will they take this fight, or will they make a rotation with Madness in a pool?
Yeah, unfortunately, Tech does go down as he was trying to rat this one out. The other rat was, I believe, Study for Team Rice Krispie Treats, and So now we have one squad down to a duo. CLG have about 55 seconds left to go to try and work off of this. We have to remember that cooler on the other side. We had Applejacks above them just a second before. We don't know if they are still there. It looks like Applejacks are making their move with the port into this. So two separate fights taking place right now with the fifth squad just watching on. It's going to be Dell to get the first knock on to Lou. Vax has gone down, but Yuki, along with the rest of the squad, will be able to clean up CLG. We're now down to the top 4 squads as Na'Vi versus Team Applejacks right now, as Team Applejacks are trying to third party this, but Dupe has gone down. Their focus has to be on recovery, and luckily for him, he's in the small ditch and they'll be able to safely res this, but that means they're not able to take advantage of that third party onto cooler.
Back in the game, Dupe, we got a game to win out here. Applejacks gets back over towards the roof. Bubble is going to be popped. Medkit is going to be hit as well. The third party ends up getting faltered, but it looks like we have our 2 EU teams, our EMEA region teams, looking really strong towards the tail end of this game. They're going to send it over towards the roof. They realize Aves is a little bit split. Is anyone inside that building, though? They're continuing to send it, but it's a bait. It looks like Aves turns back around. They're walking in with the zone, though. Aves is going to have to queue out of this if he's able to get that movement speed. That's going to be huge. Looks like he's eating tons of ring damage here. And will he be able to make it? Just barely.
Oh, he does go down, though. It's Team Liquid coming in for the cleanup. And so now Team Liquid versus, I believe, Na'Vi on the other side of this one. Nocturnal's arm shield does get cracked for the time being, and the defensive bombardment is gone for them. There's a minute and 12 seconds before the slow ring starts closing in. He's not going to have another defensive bombardment for this one unless they have some ultimate excels. Here comes some nades out from the other side, though. They are stuck behind this car flanker. Climb up, but I don't know if he can really get up through this one, as the high ground position is going to be difficult to retake. But hey, luckily for them, they've got the skirmish from that smoke. Nocturnal, here's one above him, tries to creep up. Here's the shots ringing out. This is his chance to go in as the Pathfinder tries to back up. He almost cracks that red armor, but he gets cracked himself. Pops that bat as he backs away, and now things are getting tense in this last 3v2, excuse me. Na'Vi, though, with the triple take, Kuya is trying his best to play off of this, but it's going to be a full 3v1 push onto the Gibraltar. Nax Strafe taking a lot of damage, and he will fall. It's going to be Team Liquid to take game number 5.
What a job. Team Liquid continuing to add pressure into this lobby, but doing it in a very methodical way, taking control of that blue trailer. We've seen Mouse and Keyboard take that trailer numerous times and do some great things from that, but it's Team Liquid this time that comes through, picks up a lot of kill points on the way, and they could be running away on the leaderboard here going into game 6.
We have to remember, importantly, we had Cooler surviving throughout all of that, which means that they won the 50-50 up against TSM, who were in second place. They only got 1 point there. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Team Liquid may be running away. We have one final game to see if they secure the bag tonight. So you're not going to want to miss that one. We're going to take a short break, and when we get back, it'll be the final game of the evening for Series E.
Yeah, speaking of all these good teams, I mean, is there anyone really that you guys are gunning for in Season 2? I mean, you guys already have the crown sitting in first place, but I mean, is there any teams that you felt, you know, maybe got the better of you in a couple team fights that you feel like, you know, you really want to make the statement that you guys are the best team moving forward?
Not really. If anyone ever killed us, it's because we let them. So we're not really. They can fight for spot 2. It's okay.
Okay.
We'll just sit in first.
Okay. How about you, Hakulo? You got any teams or players or anything that you're keeping your eye on, trying to make sure if you see them in the kill feed that you go for that third party? Who is it?
No one really. I don't.
Safe
see
answers
anybody.
always. All right, fine. Muffins, you got anybody that you're looking for? I know you got somebody. Come on.
You got someone for us.
Oh, yeah, no, we're just looking to land on TSM and East Frag, that's it.
Hey, I heard that's some free impressions and some free clout. So, you know, hey, I don't know where I heard it. I read it somewhere. I don't remember exactly where. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so.
Hi, my name is Eric Tricky.
Yo, what's up? I'm Muffins.
Hey guys, I'm Miss Jackler. I play Apex Legends for Team Razor.
For Team Razor.
For Team Razor, and you're watching Series E. What's up, guys? I'm Zara Tricky, and I use the Viper Mini.
In the open field, and I believe there's probably there's a kid out of position right there.
The Viper Mini is actually one of the best mice for fingertip grip users and claw grip users, which is actually what I am, a claw gripper.
Storm was hitting him. Every time the door swings open, I'm sure that team inside is.
The Viper Mini comes equipped with side grips on the mouse, and it actually comes with a new and improved cable, which is meant to make it feel wireless. If you want to hit shots like me, then you need to pick up the Razer Viper Mini.
I wasn't born in the spotlight. Nah. Had to grind and shine like a star on a hot night. And something about the struggle now resides in my muscles. And every trial and trouble helped to hang my hustle. Real rock stars don't chase the spotlight. It chases them.
Hey, shake it, kiddo.
Love Dad. Whoa.
Kellogg's Rice Krispies Treats. A little love when it's needed.
All right, welcome back to Series E, as we might finally have the breakaway for our squads heading into the final game of the evening for our first pro night of Season 2. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Mobile One leaderboard to see exactly what happens. And there it is, Team Liquid now with a massive lead over TSM, 33 points ahead, and it would have to be a monumental effort by either TSM or Season, who are the closest to try and challenge Team Liquid to win out this one. And really, that would have to start off by like dropping on them and taking them out within the first minute of the game, Tom.
Yeah, you'd have to kind of change exactly what you're doing to drop such a phenomenal game, but it's fairly rare for this to happen. So it's kind of a victory lap for Team Liquid going into the final game. It's the battle for second place now. TSM, Season, Na'Vi, and then everybody kind of sitting around 30 points has an opportunity to kind of make a splash here, but we'll see what happens. I mean, TSM, they're getting 50-50'd by Cooler. You have Team Cheez-It, who's getting 50-50'd as well. Let's take a look at the Mobile One high performance moment of the last game and find out exactly what it was. It's a little bit of a sneaky play from Team Liquid, and you can see the difference in the low profile right there. Old Pathfinder would have been ripped for a lot more than that.
Yeah, and what timing coming out from Nocturnal as well. As the Pathfinder tries to back away, mid-reload as well. Nocturnal going for the peak, doing some decent damage. It was a 2v3, but Team Liquid still playing this methodically and just getting the W here. Full sending as a 3-man, covering Kuya, forcing him back as Strafe was able to fully heal up, but it's still a 1v3. And without a PK, the Wingman Volt is not what you use for a 1v3 at that point. Team Liquid ultimately win out game number 5, and with TSM going down early, losing their 50-50 in game number 5 up against Cooler, have been punished absolutely. So Liquid now with a 33-point lead, running away with this one at this point. Like you said, just taking a victory lap for game number 6.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty nice for them to run around and win on this Bangalore too. It's an orthodox pick coming through with Nocturnal, and it's starting to pay off. And sometimes you need a little bit of a switch like that to get the vibes going, as Hal looks like he's going to trade out with Yuki and Nasky. So we have the 2-on-2 going on with TSM. Meanwhile, Razor during Razor Week in absolute shambles right now. Epicenter is probably my least favorite place to go in 50-50. We'll see what Team Razor is able to do.
They have no HP. There's like 50 HP between the 3 of them. Jazz is able to get the knock there. Balon G traded back though. Zara Tricky, the last one alive with about 15 HP left in the back pocket. So if we can swap on over to his view to see exactly what's going on there. He's able to get the scan down and spots him out. As there we go, on to Zara Tricky. The thirst is there, and fortunately for him though, it's a little bit far, so he's not going to be able to get their armor swap. As Intel versus Team Cheez-It, Prodigy Ace is the only one alive for Team Cheez-It here. He does have that armor swap, but it's a 1v3 Wingman Scout. It's going to take some crazy outplays, but up against the Gibraltar, he only gets the 1 knock before he goes down. Team Intel, they get the final win of the 50-50 at the end of the day, and Zara Tricky is actually able to win up that fight for Team Razor up against Third Impact. Already down to 17 squads. Make that 16 squads as Cooler. Go ahead and put that nail in the coffin for TSM there, and so they're not going to have any opportunity to fight back into this one. And here's the other 50-50 taking place. 303 versus Pop-Tarts. What?
It's non-stop all over the place right now for all of these teams, and I'm surprised that Zara Tricky was able to win that one through all this, but let's see what happens with Team Pop-Tarts, as they did get a couple of knocks there onto 303. This is just absolutely insane right now. I'm surprised anyone even has any healing, how fast they're absolutely fighting. Ping is going down. That's one of the best things that a teammate could do, is he's down on the ground, is just ping where that player is. Gibraltar shield going to be ripped apart. There goes the bubble. There goes the res as well, and now Impulse is back in the game.
Their third party nades are coming in. Oh boy, they have to get out of there. They still have to chase after this one final member too, and there it is. Oh, not getting the kill yet. ASCII actually gets the knock onto Lucas, and he tries to cover the door, goes for the peek, leaves it wide open. Here comes SZA for the third party. Pop-Tarts will not have an opportunity to celebrate that victory on the 50-50 win, as Z Davis will get the thirst onto Lucas there. They're the ones that pick up all of this loot now. Sung is also on that Octane, by the way, and so this should just be full W key for them, as it looks like they're making their next move. We're already down to 15 squads, 44 players remaining as they give chase for this final squad, it looks like, and I don't know if they'll be able to catch up to him. It's pretty far. Never mind. There he is. Stomps goes down, and he's instantly thirsted. So we should have a Tomcat Rat Cam very shortly.
And if you think that Sung's not going to be able to catch anybody in this lobby, well, he's playing on Octane, so there's no getting away if they do end up giving chase. Team Liquid with their typical rotation coming outside of Trials. Albarelli on gold armor is just such a scary thing. Again, when you go over Trials and you give these guys maybe a gold bag on Nocturnal, this time it looks like it's a gold helmet. The armor onto Albarelli, they're just going to completely zoom throughout the entire lobby now. Let's see what the combination is. It's going to be triple take Volt coming in from Nocturnal. Not that bad of a combo. Again, just a little bit of a victory lap. Team Liquid 81 points through 5 games. That's insane.
Yeah, this is going to be a leisurely stroll into the next ring for them under no pressure whatsoever. Again, one of their closest competitions for this final game was TSM, but remember, TSM were tied at 48 points, so they needed to kill about half the lobby and get the W here. So Team Liquid are just going to play this extremely slowly, cover all their bases, do all the crafting that they need, and loot every last ounce of loot here in Skyhook.
and they're playing very seriously. Looks like they want to try to get the W and try to maybe break 100 points. That's the goal for any type of team, especially only playing 6 games. So I like that Team Liquid's not running around, not full sending it. There's no like Revenant Octane combination. Now we do see where the zone's pulling, and we can start to see where these teams are starting to set up. Applejack setting up next to Sola Fide, and this is pulling Thermal Station. So kind of starting how we ended, not that surprising.
We're having a Lurk play over there. CLG now making the rotation through, made their way through Train, and now they're going to be over at Harvester. Triple purples for Vaxlu and Madness here. As, yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of days for CLG as well, but still some consistent performances coming out throughout, and we got to see them having some great team fights. Rockstar, again, still testing the waters, trying to figure out what composition they like best, or maybe they do run variable compositions throughout the rest of this season here, just to figure out what really works for them for any given situation, Tom.
Well, if you're switching, that means that whatever you're doing isn't working. So there's been flashes here and there. I just don't know if switching every single game is the best way. Every game is so different. It's also situational. Game 6, people don't even try the same that they do in game number 1. So I personally would just like to see, again, Matt Pickett stick on a certain legend and figure out which legend that is, because it's impossible to master anybody if all you're doing is going back and forth. So Team Pringles, SCN, everybody setting up over towards this tree side. Couple grenades going to be tossed. Looks like that Arcstar going to miss, that Thermite going to miss as well. Looks like it actually connects just for a little sliver of 27. Problem is, when you toss all those Arcstars, you can't really run through it. But for some reason, that team stays in the corner. That's going to be Bird from Rice Krispies. Bird for sure. He was sitting there like a sitting duck.
Yeah, Rambo. Just able to spray through and take them out. Don't really see, you know, Team Rice Krispies just crumble like that as Team Pop-Tarts. Oh, was Lucas able to get the reses for his squad? As Cooler are picking them off, though. So with still 15 squads, 41 players remaining, Pop-Tarts are still in this, but Team Pringles now taking the fight to NPL. Spitfire from, I don't know where, but they get the first knock onto Dracos.
Yeah, Dracos going to go down. Let's start scrolling through and see where some of these fights are, because looks like no third party is going to come through on towards SDN anytime soon. Rockstar getting into a little bit of duel over towards the side, and what do you know? If you had to say, Jamerson, if you had to close your eyes and say where Team Rockstar was after rotating from round 1, where do you think they'd be?
I mean, typically you should be in zone, but I mean, the last couple of days, it's been a lot of these train rotates for them. So far, SZA in a fight, they've already lost out on Sung over here at No Name, as they're backing away from the safe zone of the ring currently. Z Davis is forced to pop that bat. Fortunately for him, he was 11 damage away. It was literally just one more shot, one more bullet from that R301 he was carrying to be able to get that. But it looks like they'll have to give up on Sung, unfortunately, and make their way through Geyser throughout all of this, just tanking the ring. Oh.
Yeah, and Cooler doing a great job gatekeeping throughout all that too, so I really like that. But here's the fight. It's going to be probably Rockstar over towards the train side taking on Team Liquid, where Team Liquid actually used to land before they picked up Albarelli, before Trials was a thing. So we'll see what Team Liquid's going to do. Remember fighting Team Liquid with Casper numerous times over towards this train side, and that team is dipping out. Looks like a portal from Tech. Nocturnal on the case. They know where the portal is. Nade's going to land. Looks like they're going to go back through the portal, though, and I see Nade's even coming from that other side, so there could be 2 teams here.
Yeah, how that arc didn't stick, I'm surprised. I thought it was going to be landing square on top of him. Flanker gets the first knock in this fight, taking out Tech, gives them the 3v2 advantage. The scan comes out from the other side as they just try to full commit onto this one. Crummy will fall. Matt Pickett only finds the one, slides on through, but he has Nocturnal in his way. Nocturnal, surprisingly, missing a lot of his shot there, but hey, ultimately, you're going to have Albarelli there to clean that one up. They got the fast res as well, along with the gold backpack. So they'll be able to just fully heal up. And, you know, at this point, it is all but over. Team Liquid should be getting the victory tonight. Ooh! Dell turns around with the help with his squad. It gets that knock on to Panders over here during the rotate. And now they've got the man advantage. They lose out on one as Metro picks that one up. But Team Intel will go down. They get the res. CLG in a fight over here at Tree, though, making their way on in. And oh my god, Max. The hell happened to him? Oh boy. CLG, they were in a great spot. Now they're not, as Madness is forced to bat. He does go for that peek after he pops that one off, but again, his shield has gone once more. Vaxlon is going to go ahead and throw down that scan, giving him valuable time to hit that med kit and then start to advance forward. All's he playing, this might actually catch them off guard. Let's have the Mastiff out, might go for the peek. Here comes another scan. Now he's going to try and go for that peek. Hits for the 60 on the purple, but he does have the drone giving away his position here. He will continue to charge forward and wants to hunt down the rest of his squad. At the very least, he picks up the banner of Lou, and will have the opportunity, if they wanted, to back away to the back end of Tree to try and get him back into the game.
Yeah, they may have a portal that could extend. We'll see if he pings down to see exactly how far it is. It's 130 meters, so the portal goes 100 meters. A couple more steps, and I'm sure that your boy Madness is going to set that one. But at what cost? Multiple teams going to be in the vicinity to pounce on this one. Team Pringles, one of those teams that are posturing over here towards Tree. Love to have the Spitfire with only 30 shots. That's my favorite thing in the world.
Boney will back away to pop that bat. As, yeah, we're down to 11 squads as round 2 starts closing. 27 players remaining as well. The scan comes out and they do spot out a squad to their north holding that building. And so this should just be a lot of posturing by squads, poking away armor checks and the like, as well as picking up this loot. So they will be able to get that off of season for now. Still wondering if the res has gone down yet. We're at 11 squads and 37 players. Hard to tell with these numbers at this point. Hopefully we can swap things around to take a look at everyone's perspective throughout all of this. As, yeah, we're going to reach that mid-game lull. Never mind. Oh my goodness, Zara Tricky getting melted there. Muffin does throw down that bubble, but he's lost out on one more. Hacula is the only one left now, as he's just not able to hit those shots, and he will go down. Cooler just full sending this lobby. Now we'll be able to get the res onto Dell.
Cooler not really caring about anything at this point. 7 kills right now for Yuki, looking extremely strong. 1,000 damage. This is a big snowball right now that nobody is really stopping. There goes the Phoenix kit coming in for Sir Dell. Lots of loot over towards the side, and should be a fairly rotation with only easy rotation with only 10 squads. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually did maybe meet some resistance over towards the edge of Tree, but they should have a couple different opportunities to go and rotate. You do have Sir Dell with the portal if he wants to go and put anywhere in a certain spot, so we'll see what their positioning is and how they want to play this one. Still a minute and 30 seconds to move too.
Yeah, they do have access to high ground as well with Yuki on that horizon. And they were pinging that. Solafide are in the fight over here up against Flanker and Liquid. Now, Liquid, they don't need to win this one out. They've basically secured their spot at this point with the additional kills along with the, 2 placement points that they got at this point. So losing this fight against Solafide doesn't really mean much to them, but hey, Nocturnal is still going to stick this one out, gain that knock with that triple take. Nasky is here for the third party with Cooler. Flanker has gone down, been thirsted, and even though the black hole is pumping, they've got no one in it. They still clean up the remnants of Team Liquid as Yuki takes a big shot there, has to back off and heal up. Nasky swapping on over to the red Evo, and they lose out on Dell. Throughout all of that, it's going to be Aves to pick up the kill here. They have the bubble res. They do have the bubble, and there's the res. Very shortly. There we go. Gold bag res to bring Dell back into things.
Yeah, very nicely done. Good portal execution. Nasky with no hesitation to go and get that res, and was completely aware from the communication of his teammates that they were going to come through over towards that side. But look at the free roam that you have when the lobby really opens up like this. Typically, there are teams in every little crevice of the map, and there's basically no moving around. Here, Cooler made their way from the edge. Now they're just running around aimlessly, taking fights any which way that they wanted. Spitfire, Eva 8. Oh my gosh, this combo is toxic for Nasky.
9 squads, 20 players left here, as it's going to be a lot of Tomcat Rat Camp, I expect, at this point here. For the final moments of this game, as Cooler have the high ground position. They're looking absolutely stacked. Like you said, Nasky with that 3x on the Spitfire. He's got a lot of ammo behind it as well. Team Pringles, one of the few teams left here that are still full squatted up. They make the push on to Bambino, taking him on out. And will be able to secure the thirst as well as the ring starts closing in, but they start focusing on the ring here, and so it will turn around. Bambino gets finished off, and they have full control over this building, so they're safe for the next minute or so.
Safe for now. That person's not safe. Over just fell out the drop ship, but it looks like they already have some armor swaps there, so it could be potentially a good fight here, but no, that's just going to be Lou going down immediately. Some really great shots from Phonyhead, and he's got the black hole to deal with as well, as Fury's going to go and toss that one in. They don't even know if they needed that, but they saw it with CLG. See, it's a really skilled team. But guess what? There's more teams inside this building out of nowhere. Phony's going to have to take this fight. They're stuck inside the corner. That's going to be Cooler. Cooler's been hot all game, but they just bit off more than they can chew and ran into Team Pringles, who's popping off inside the building.
Yeah, 7 squads remaining, 15 players left here. Going for the peak is going to be Phony, and they do finish off Madness at the end there. And finally, we have some semblance of what should be sanity for this final circle, or, well, final 2 circles. With 5 squads remaining, 13 players left. We should see players kind of play this a little bit more standard now in the end.
I love seeing Spitfire, EVA 8 meta, man. The 2 most skillful guns that we have in Apex really being utilized in tournament gameplay here. See what our boy Phony's going to do, but if you're wondering if the Mastiff or EVA 8 is stronger, I hope you're realizing after watching these Mastiff hit for 8, 8, and 14, and then 70, but then all of a sudden the EVA 8 just spits out like a Spitfire, a bunch of 70s. It's obvious which gun is better right now and which one may need a little bit of an adjustment. Navi on the outside looking in, still in the zone though. This is what I was expecting as a team to play this high ground over towards that top hand side. Curious to see what team that is. That's a big brain spot. But Team Pringles with a lot of kills over towards the side. One team on the high ground, then Navi down here, and then there's some rats located somewhere around.
Making contact with enemy.
Yeah, Navi, they will have the option if they want to try and take that high. They've got Max Strafey, of course, with that zip line to work with. But, you know, they can bide their time for the time being, as, again, this is what we expected once we finally got to the later stages of this game, for everything to slow down. As they're going to hand around their meds and really, really keep that equal as possible at this point. Still have the charge rifle for Nash, so I mean, you're talking about, of course, all the skillful guns out there. You're going to add a third one into the mix there, Tom.
Yeah, charge rifle takes the most skill out of all these guns. You can see just how difficult it is to basically shoot at someone not looking at you and then have it directly beam at them like a Spartan laser. But there it is. Guess who is one of the rats? It's our boy, Rat Boy Ronnie.
The Q in. Does he actually make it into the building safe? He doesn't. Oh no. That was
wow,
the quickest
Ronnie.
nope out of there, but he's gone.
Sliced.
4 squads left.
Sliced. The rat has been dispersed of by Tomcat, and you know, Ronnie, that wasn't your best rat performance. We've seen a little bit better. We'll get him next time.
Get him next time, indeed. But yeah, the zone's gonna pull away over. Actually, pretty decent split for these squads, but Pringles might have the roughest go of things. Might have a sliver of that building in. It's a little hard to tell here, but at the very least, they're tanky for right now. Solafide didn't survive their entire affair, so here's results of Gentrifying and Designful getting cracked. Bubble is forced down early on, and Gentrifying needs to heal up. Designful hitting a Phoenix Kid. This isn't going to finish in time, does it? The bubble should be going
directly
down.
when the bubble goes away.
Oh my goodness, that's so close. The timing. Oh, there we go. He gets it off. Now he pushes forward here with the scan. Beats the hunt that entire time was not being used, but hey, he has the bubble at the very least. But they've got the cover, but now they are getting naded out. He should be in the range of this arc. Never mind, it actually hits.
That hit for that much?
Jingle. Yeah, I'm surprised too, but he still goes for the peak with that white armor swap. Aves is there, gets the knock onto results. Gentrifying might be the next one to fall as he tries to back away, utilizes that cover of the knock shield, but now he's out in the middle of nowhere as Designful takes the fight up top, up against Cube. He goes down. Navi getting into the fray as well. Solafide somehow survive for now. Gentrifying is still alive throughout all of this as Pringles comes in for the third party. It's the final 3 squads remaining. Navi and Solafide are in shambles here as Pringles are looking to take the final win of the day, pushing up against this Gibraltar to take him out. Team Pringles take game number 6.
And the celebration over at the Esports Arena Studios now, I mean, that was one of the most impressive games we've seen from Pringles in quite some time. Keep in mind another roster change, as Pringles was one of the teams that got relegated. Completely new roster coming in here to Season 2. And it looks pretty good for Team Cheez-It and Team Pringles. We had some pretty strong showings, but no one's stronger than Team Liquid today.
Yeah. Team Liquid with a clear advantage heading into game number 6. We're going to go ahead and take a short break while we tabulate all of the results. And when we get back, we'll announce the final winners of the evening after this break.
What's up, guys? I'm Zara Tricky, and I use the Viper Mini.
In the open field, and I believe there's probably there's a kid out of position right there.
The Viper Mini is actually one of the best mice for fingertip grip users and claw grip users, which is actually what I am, a claw gripper.
Storm was hitting him. Every time the door swings open, I'm sure that team inside is...
The Viper Mini comes equipped with side grips on the mouse, and it actually comes with a new and improved cable, which is meant to make it feel wireless. If you want to hit shots like me, then you need to pick up the Razer Viper Mini.
Hey, shake it, kiddo.
Love Dad. Oh.
Kellogg's Rice Krispies Treats. A little love when it's needed.
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show 'em who's the cheesiest?
I woke up feeling the cheesiest, coach. Cheez-It, official sponsor of the college football playoff.
All right, guys, welcome back to Series E. This is our first pro nights of Season 2 during Razor Week, by the way, but it just was not their week this time around, as we can go ahead and take a look at the Mobile One leaderboard. Team Liquid take the W today, and Team Season go ahead and win second place tonight. But man, what a day for Team Liquid.
And also, you got to give credit to Season, because it's one of the more underrated teams. I think that if we were to predict where a Season was going to be, they'd probably be on that right-hand side. So props to them for coming through and really surprising a lot of people, especially me. But Team Liquid, no surprise, they're sitting at 86 points. They really popped off. But again, congratulations to our top two teams, especially to Season. Again, phenomenal performance. Welcome, everybody, to Season 2 of Series E. I hope they enjoyed the fast-paced pro day today.
And I feel like this is just going to be the case of Pro Night moving forward, along with the 50-50s we have on the open nights, especially for Lava City down there, Cheez-It versus Intel. But I mean, I feel like we're going to continue to see TSM versus Cooler whenever we have them here for our Pro Nights, along with the 303 fight. But you know what? Let's go ahead and take a look at the Mobile One high performance moments for game number 6 here. It's Team Pringles making this push on in after the res, swatting it out. CLG trying to go for the res. They're split up. They are, and they're able to just pick them apart. Lou and Vaxlon go down, and then they hunt down Madness right afterwards.
Yeah, and the EVA so unforgiving when you get up close like that, and the Spitfire are going to be good for medium, long range, and up close right here. You can see just the rip of the Gibby from behind, 133, also ripping another player. The rest of the team going to continue to follow. It was a very high damage game coming in for Phony. I believe he had over 2,000 damage. We saw a lot of these guys have over 2,000 damage. That was by far the best performance out of Pringles that we've seen in quite some time, and it goes to show that they can duel it out and skirmish with the best of them.
By the way, throughout all of that madness was the rat, and he runs away, and he actually runs right into the entirety of Cooler, and like that's why they turned their back to Pringles. Here's Madness with a final last moment stand, but he got the finishing blow on Cooler, so nice little way to finish off your tournament night. So yeah, glad to see, of course, CLG competing and whenever they do. But yeah, that means, of course, it was Liquid taking the win tonight, and they did it in an outstanding fashion. Congratulations to them. 80 some odd points. I don't even quite remember, but they got the
81
win. That's
points
all that
after 5 games. Yeah, 81 points was more than what they needed. They could have stopped playing in game number 6 if they wanted to.
Yeah, congratulations, Team Liquid, once again. Now, before we close out the show, want to go ahead and thank all of our partners, of course, for allowing us to do what we do here at Series E, helping our 9 partner teams really chase their pro play dreams. And of course, want to thank all of our viewers at home for tuning in and sticking with us throughout all the technical difficulties that we had tonight. Always looking to improve. Your feedback is always appreciated. Thank you all so much for tuning in. From Esports Arena, for Tom and myself, thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week on Tuesday for Series E Season 2, week number 2. See you all then.